I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Here I go. Does my mic sound good to you? Does my mic sound good to you? Let me know if you are in the chat. This is the Way Too Early for a Friday morning show. I am here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, with a fresh shave. I literally was coming in hot. I was coming in hot because I always shave before the show starts, and I shaved and then I put on I use an alum bar after I shave. So I don't use. I used to use alcohol, but now I just use an alum bar, right? Well, then you're supposed to wash that off. And I was just here, going through my morning routine or whatever, getting the show stuff ready. And then I was like, oh wait, I got to get that alum bar off of me, because I was like, why is my face tingling? Why is my face just tingling? And yeah, so I had to run in there, like literally. I slid in like last minute, like Ace Ventura parking. So I ran in there, rinsed it off, threw some bevel aftershave on my face, and then ran back in here with my trying not to spill my drink. And but I'm here now. I'm here. So thank you to everybody who has joined me. Let's check out, see who's in the chat. My guy Carlos. It's Friday. That's right, Carlos. Carlos said it is Friday. Says wake up, wake up, wake up. That's right. You know the deal, Carlos. Carlos is my guy. No, so I should have called you actually to help me do my mic check like I did last week, but let's just do the mic check live. So I see that you are here. My guy Jared is here as well. So tell me, can you guys hear me? You guys hear me with is my mic sounding good? My guy Jared right there. He's got the coffee emoji. Jared, we don't have time for all that. You can't be tired right now. You got to be. Let's go. Let's get that energy. Come on now. I need you guys. I need you guys to bring that energy to me. All right. And let's see here. Carlos said the mic sounds great. All right. Well, then if Carlos said it sounds good, then hey, you like to quote Salt and Pepper, are you ready? Let's go ahead, jump into this rundown, let you guys know what is going on. First of all, as always, we're going to shout out each time zone when it is 6 a.m. for them. So I need to say each U.S. time zone, because I'm not going to be shouting out Bangladesh when it's 6 a.m. for them, okay? Well, we're going to be shouting out each time zone here in the United States. It is 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. Welcome. Glad you guys are joining us. If this is your first time watching the show, you are in for a treat. Do me a favor, hit that. I'm just going to tell you right now, you go ahead. If you've never watched the show before, go ahead, hit that like button and hit subscribe, because you're going to want to come back. Make sure you turn the notification bell on. Not only are you going to help me hit my goal of 50,000 subscribers, but you will make sure that you are going to catch all of this show content each and every Friday, plus all the other cool stuff that we do here at Garage Gym Life. I actually had somebody reach out to me on Threads. Let me see if I can't Sarah, shout out to Sarah Pauline, says she was looking for something to watch in the morning. She said, I need a podcast to watch in the mornings. And I said, well, look no further, Sarah, because this is the one. So I gave her the link. Hope she'll be able to join us here today. And anyway, so then the other thing is at 6. Let's see here. So today we're also going to have a brand new recliner rage. I'm once again mad. I know that's not a surprise to you guys. I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to take a little bit of the blame for today's recliner rage, but I'm not taking all the blame. I'm going to take some of the blame, but I'm still mad, okay? Just for the principle of the thing, okay? Then in our second hour at 7 a.m., we're going to have Dennis Solis from Home Gym Tech Support. He's going to be joining us. He's going to tell us some stories about some of the stuff that he's been working on. Dennis has been setting up home gyms primarily on the West Coast, but I know he also sometimes, I think he's going as far as Vegas, which I'm sure was a huge hardship. He had to go to Vegas for work. But Dennis is joining us. He's going to give us some of the stories and the lessons he's learned over the course of the last few installs he's done. Then in the third hour, which will be 8 a.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be 6 a.m. Mountain time, my guy David Dennis from Gorilla Strength will be joining us. And I got a couple questions for David, because David is Well, first of all, he's dang near a genius. All right. Everybody I know who knows David, who has gotten stuff from him, said this dude is a genius in terms of fabricating stuff. And I can vouch for how knowledgeable he is. He's going to be talking to me about structural steel and why that's important, and why you should make sure that your power racks, for example, are made out of structural steel. And he's also going to show why you shouldn't buy cheap barbells from Amazon. So he's got some stuff for that. Of course, we're going to be doing tales from my inbox, and we're going to also do news and other things and all the other stuff that you guys are accustomed to getting from this show. Let's jump back into the comment section and see what everybody's here. So, No Fate Channel 24/7. My guy Jonathan checking in from the road. Hey, look, drive safely, man. I know a lot of you guys are traveling, and I absolutely love the fact that so many of you guys like to tune in and listen while you're driving, going on road trips and things like that. The fact of the matter is that that's why the show is designed the way it's designed. It is designed to be like a radio show, like one of those morning, I don't know, depending on whatever you like listen to on talk radio, whether it's sports talk or it's political talk or whatever you like listening to in the morning, is designed to be like that. So it's not technically a podcast. This is a morning variety show. And so I'm here to respond to you guys in the chat. Throw your questions in the chat. I love it. Sometimes you guys derail me. I'll have like stuff all planned out, and then you'll say something in the chat and we just pivot and we start talking about that. So I love that stuff. Let's see who else is in here. My guy, Matt Welch, saying in the building. Carlos said, my guy, Matt Welch is here. He said, I'm back. Good morning, USA. Man, it's always good having Matt here. Matt had an awesome competition. He's back to training. All right. Matt does not believe in taking time off between competitions. So he is training already. Good to have you here, man. My guy, Thomas Lonsdale, said he was going to check in with us. I don't know if this is the week that he's going to start checking. He's in the UK as well. Said he's going on vacation, and so he's going to start checking in because he's not able to check in at work during his work day. So we'll be looking for Thomas here in the chat as well. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Matt said, I'm here for shenanigans and encouragement. Hey, that's I'm like Carlos. I'm always down for some shenanigans. I appreciate the crew always being here. All right, let's go. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it, because I know you guys want to move on into our next segment. So let's get this show rolling and jump right into news and other things. All right, so in news and other things, this is where I'm going to tell you about not just stuff that's happening randomly in the home gym world, but also stuff that's going on with our channel. So let's begin with the Garage Gym Life stuff, and then we're going to expand out. So first of all, we're going to have a couple of changes that are coming to the channel. Nothing major changes. They're important, but they're not going to make the channel unrecognizable. Okay, for example, we're not going to be doing any butterfly related content, okay? But there are going to be some changes coming to the channel, and most of that is to benefit you guys. So first thing is, you guys know that I talk about the members only stuff, and I'm asking you guys to join the channel. All right, I'm always saying, hey, I want you to not just watch, but I want you to join the channel. Well, part of me saying join the channel means I'm going to give you something in return, and that is members only videos. So I need feedback from you guys, because you are my core audience. You're my core audience of people who are constantly here every week checking in. You're the people who I depend on. Like, hey, most of you guys who are here are also channel members, right? And if you are here all the time and you're not a channel member, what are you waiting for? It's only 99 cents a month. Seriously, 99 cents a month, give you content. Number one, you get to see all of my videos before everybody else. Number two, you also get exclusive members only videos. And that's what I want to talk about right now. So we already have some workout videos in the members only section. We have a couple of body weight workouts, and then we've also got basically a week workout, a week sample workout. I think it's a great way. Let's say you're in between training cycles. It's a good sort of like bodybuilding sort of focused workout to bridge you over to your next training, whatever your next training goal is. So if you just, so like Matt, for example, you just finished training and competing in a strongman competition. So this would be a bridge, and then you can go from that straight into whatever you're training for next. All right. Just give your body a little bit of a break. But what I want to know is, do you want more stuff like that? And no, I didn't do the videos. Instead, what I did, I actually paid some coaches to come in and give you guys workout content that I thought you guys could use. No, Carlos, there will be no butterfly content. I don't care how many, but you know what? You're going to make me do it. I wasn't going to do it, Carlos, but now you're going to make me do it. All right. I promise you, I originally was not going to do it, but now you kind of leave me no choice. So I just want you to know that you have only yourself to blame for this event happening right now. Let's go. You know, I had no, this is what I'm talking about. Derailing stuff, right? Carlos derailed it. And here's going to be the debut of this thing. Okay. Oh, I see you're getting in on it. Okay. All right. Everybody want to talk about it. All right. Here we go. This is my secondary logo. Okay. Bam. No butterflies. All right. This is a no butterfly zone. All right. No butterfly zone. And this is going to be ready to be deployed at any time when it is appropriate during the show. All right. You play with me and it'll end up having its own soundtrack. Anyway, so I want to know if you guys want to get more content like that, more workout content like that, or would you prefer, because I know a lot of you guys are content creators. So my guy Coach Carp is here. Carp's Gym is here. Oh yeah, I know you're gonna be here. Also part of the replay gang. So shout out to all the replay gang that's watching this on replay. Shout out to everybody who's watching, who is consuming this on Podbean as audio only. But specifically for the YouTube audience, I want to know if you guys who are content creators, do you want advice for growing on YouTube? I don't know everything. But what I do know, I'm willing to share with you guys, help you grow your YouTube channel. I'll just basically tell you everything I know. And more than that, I will go and reach out to my network of people who I know who are content creators, and I'm going to get them to share the information that they have. Like basically, how did they grow on YouTube? If you want to know how they grew their Instagram, like, hey, it's going to be specifically, how did you grow your home gym content creator channel? Okay. So that's option 2 for members only videos, workout videos, advice for growing on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. And then, or do you guys want pre-recorded in-depth interviews? So let's say there's some people who I can't get on the show just because their schedules don't allow it. So like Jen Thompson, for example, number one, she's a school teacher. So she's working at the time that the show's on, right? She's either working or she's getting ready to go to work. So she can't come on. And then in the summertime, she has a bunch of stuff. So like she took some of her clients. Jen Thompson is a multi-time world ranked powerlifter. All right. But she has clients. And so she took her clients on a cruise. Then she also had is competing. So she competed this summer. So it's tough for her to get to fit into her schedule to come on. Would you guys like to see pre-recorded in-depth interviews with people like that who can't come on the show? It would basically be an hour-long, roughly, interview with somebody, and that would be members-only content, okay? And then one other thing this is another teaser in case you're still kind of on the fence. You're still kind of on the fence about becoming a member. Being a member is the only way that you can see the Chronicles of Dresman. And you're like, well, what's the Chronicles of Dresman? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to go ahead, for those who are just consuming this in audio, you definitely want to come to the YouTube video and you want to watch the Chronicles of Dresman, okay? This is what happened when my cousin Dresman decided he needed to go to the grocery store, all right? So here you go.
First of all, why are you in my room at 5 o'clock in the morning? First of all, back up. Oh, it's getting old. All right, look. I know I told you I was going to take you to the store. I know you said you needed eggs. I said I was going to take you to the store. Yes, but, man, look. I didn't say I was going to take you first thing in the morning. Okay, maybe I said that. But, look, the store is 5:02. The store ain't even open yet, man. The store is not open. I'm going to take you to the store. But here's what you're going to do. You can't, look, I know Naomi's out of town, but you still can't be coming up in my room like this, barging up in here. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to go back to sleep. I'm going to wake up, and when the store's open, I'm going to take you to the store. What you're going to do in the meantime, you're going to go take off my apron. That's 1. 2, you're going to put on a shirt. 3, you're going to not come back until I come get you. Those 3 things in order. Take off my apron, put on a shirt, don't come back till I come get you. Okay? Now get out. Get out, get started on that. Nope, there you go. You just go on leave right now. Yep. All right, good. This dude is going crazy. This has got to stop. I can't do, no. That's it. It's over. I can't take no, not one, no. As soon as I wake up, we're going to fight. As soon as I just as soon as I wake up, it's on. Yeah. No, I don't know why I can't. That's right. No more Jesus. No more.
Y'all see what I go through, right? This dude is out of control. Now this is a cousin I do like. April, Neil. Shout out to you. That's my cousin April. Hey, what's up, April? Appreciate you being here, cuz. My family is so encouraging. My mom watches. You see my cousin is here. And to be honest, I've got another, and actually I'll say this, huge shout out to April again, because April is the one that told me, that hooked me up with our other cousin, Kelly. And Kelly's the one that does all the stuff for the Garage Light website. So huge shout out to my family, all sides of the family. Now, let's see what y'all thought about that. So Matt said, let's see. Carlos said advice is great. You can always benefit from learning from those who broke through and pre-recorded. But then he also said pre-recorded interviews would be cool. Matt said he will sort out getting on a live with me, even if it's a pre-recorded clip, because Matt is in the UK. So like right now he's at work. Okay. Shh, don't tell his boss. He's at work right now listening. Okay. So he would have to do a pre-recorded interview with him. I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool, you know, to like do an interview like that. And I also thought about maybe if we do the pre-recorded interviews with people who are channel members, people who are members of the Discord. We also got some changes coming to the Discord, the Garage Gym Life Discord, I mean. And so that might be really cool, kind of give you guys a little bit of shine, you know, get in depth with you, see what kind of stuff that you guys are up to. Let's see. And then this is the biggest fan of Dresman I've ever met. I know, and that's Carlos. He's a Dresman. He even spelled his name right. Yeah, that's right. That's the other problem with this dude. His name is D, then the R is capitalized for no reason at all, and then ESMOND. So it's not Desmond, it's Dresman. And he gets really offended if you call him Desmond. All right, so yeah, whatever. Matt said he can't wait for the Prime TV series. It's going to be awesome. Look, the fact is that you can't find the Chronicles of Dresman on Amazon Prime. You can't find it on Netflix. You can only find it if you become a member of the Garage Gym Life YouTube channel. All right, and that is just one of the members-only videos that you guys can check out. Eric Echo says, I was hoping you were safe because Eric, the last time I heard from you, you said you were getting on the road, and then I didn't hear from you again. So I hope you made where you're going safely. I know it was a little bit of a shorter drive this time. I hope you made it safely. So shout out to you. Glad that you showed up for this. Dresman was not in the birthday suit. He did have on shorts. Okay, not my shorts this time. He had on shorts, but he's wearing my apron. That's also a violation. I gotta stop. This dude I cannot allow this dude to continue wearing my clothes. But you see, he'll do the junk when I'm sleeping. You see, I was asleep, right? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, gets up, goes and puts on my apron. I don't even know what he's doing. Carlos said Dresman is a guy after his own heart, uncoachable. You know what? I can tell that the two of y'all are the type of people who would hang out together. Yeah. I'll send him. I'm going to send him back to your house. I'm going to send Dresman to your house, Carlos. He can come stay with you. Let's see. Jared said it's his first week back lifting after the trip last week and missed his home gym. What I want to know is, did you finally get the stuff in that you did the recliner rage on? That you remember you were waiting for all your stuff, and you so did you finally get everything in and put together? So for your home gym, so I got to get the 60-pack of eggs. You know, I feel like you're missing the point here. The point isn't that we don't have enough eggs. The point is he's not supposed to be in my room at 5 o'clock in the morning talking about let's go to the store. That's a grown man. He don't need to be in my room looking for the 60-pack. I don't know. If it was a 60-pack of eggs, eventually they'd still run out, and then he'd come in my room again. No, we got to nip that in the butt. Don't come up in my room first of all, don't come in my room. That would be awesome. But if you do, let's start with knocking. And don't do it at 5 a.m. Let's just do that. So Jared said, yes, the whole set of plates came in. Amazingly not lost by UPS. And the plates are beautiful. Grateful to have them. Well, you know the deal, man. Pictures or it didn't happen. So throw a picture up on Instagram, and then I'll put, and if you do it before the end of the show, I will put, you just let me know. And then I will go over to your Instagram and let everybody check out what you're working with. Cause I know that Jared has a pretty nice, if you're not following at Jared_Freeman on Instagram, you are missing out. You need to check him out. Okay. Anyway, so that was that for so that's the first, all of that was the first item. All right. I want to know what you guys want from the members only videos. We're going to start putting more content on there. Chronicles of Dresman comes out every week. But I need to know if you guys want me to do some content like interviews with other content creators to let you know how they grew their YouTube, their Instagram, whatever. Basically, I'm thinking of calling it the Success Series. And it's going to basically be me talking to people. And I'm not talking about people who like kind of successful. No, it's for example, Laura Kummerly, she's got over 500,000 followers on Instagram. And when I interviewed her, she didn't even have 6 figures yet in followers. So we're going to talk. So I'd reach out to her and basically find out how she went from not having, she wasn't even at 100,000 when I interviewed her the first time, to how she ended up at over 500,000. Kyle, who's been on here, Kyle from Kaizen DIY, we'll talk about how he grew his channel. Jake from Garage Gym Experiment, get him on here. And again, these will be in-depth conversations focused on how they grew their Instagram, how they grew their YouTube, that kind of thing. Okay. And like I said, I'm thinking of calling it the Success Series, and this will be accessible to members only. If you'd like to become a member of our channel, all you gotta do is click that join button that's in the bottom corner. It is 99 cents a month. You'll be able to check all of that stuff out. There will be no interviews with Dresman. The dude won't talk to me. I know you want interviews with Dresman. He gets entirely too much shine already. He's basically just be sitting there. He refuses to talk to people. All right. No. The point, you're missing the point. Once again, you're missing the point. It's not that he ran out of eggs. I knew he ran out of eggs, and I told him we're going to go to the store the next day. He shows up okay, let's just be real. Okay. The day before, he said, hey, we got to go to the store, right? Okay. Because he only had 2 eggs. He used the eggs. So what did he expect when he went to the refrigerator? The eggs are going to be gone. He ate them, right? So it's not that he ran out of eggs. I knew he ran out of eggs, but I didn't plan on going to the store at 5 a.m. when the store wasn't. What we're going to do, sit in the parking lot? No, that's not the point. My guy, Kurt Locker, Kurt. So the topic of the day right now is, what would you want to see from the members only videos in Garage Gym Life? Do you want to see interviews with content creators about how they grew their Instagram, their YouTube? And this is like real advice now, not that garbage that you normally see on YouTube where people are actually putting out videos just for clickbait. And they're like, oh, and then you go watch the video, it says how to grow your YouTube. You watch the video and it's the same tired advice that everybody else says. No, this is actually going to be, I'll go to, for let's say Jake, Garage Gym Experiment. Hey man, what did you do specifically to grow Garage Gym Experiment? Go to Kyle from Kaizen DIY. What did you do specifically to grow your YouTube, to grow your Instagram? It'll be in-depth stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Did you say you want foot videos? No, we're not. We're definitely okay. I take back the asking you what you want to see. All right. We just disqualified you from voting. All right. Get Dresman a chicken. I'm not. First of all, can you? I know y'all can picture this. I know you're picturing Dresman standing there holding his chicken, right, in his arms. We're not doing that. We're not getting. My wife actually tried to get me to get chickens a while back, and I vetoed that because I'm not going out there to feed the chickens, and I don't want to hear all that clucking. Also, when I was April, this is before you were born, April. My cousin April's in the watching. This is before you were born. I got attacked by a rooster at Grandpa's house. All right, I was going up those back steps because your cousins your uncles Archie and Emery, they got this dang rooster, and they gave the rooster sugar water and made him an attack rooster. And I was going up the back steps, coming from school, and the rooster attacked me. So I got a thing against chickens. I ain't having no chickens in my house. Okay, there's not going to be, there's no chickens. All right, we're already a no butterfly zone. We're also going to be no chickens. All right. Yeah. So I mean, the thing about the membership thing is, so we already have people who are joining the channel. I mean, 99 cents a month, right? That's pretty. I mean, you spend that without even thinking about it on other stuff. What I want is to get the people who are already members. I want to know what they want, because I want to give them something back in exchange for their support. So that's so I'm asking basically the people who are already members what they want to see. But yeah, their chickens are not awesome. Chickens are awesome to eat. You said butterfly. No. All right, Carp. Let me remind you once again, this is a no butterfly zone. This is a no butterfly zone. Okay. All right. I'll remind you as often as I need to. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. All right. The next news item. You guys may have seen this. Rep Fitness is hiring. And I think this is good, but I want to know why most of the positions are in Colorado. So let's go ahead, and you guys probably, so you can find out, you go to the Rep page to Rep careers, and I'll show you guys what they have here. Right here, share that screen. All right, so you go to repfitness.com, go to pages, rep-careers, and you can see this. But they basically, then you go and you click the open positions. All right, so most of these make sense. All right, all these positions are in Westminster, Colorado. Customer service representative, East Coast regional distribution manager is in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Again, that makes sense. Keyword East Coast. So you got to be on the East Coast, right? And Carlisle, Pennsylvania is where the Rep store is. Okay, makes sense. You'd be based there. Then there's the freelance apparel patent maker. That's a contract position, and it looks like you could be based anywhere. So I guess you would just ship stuff to them. Then mechanical engineer. These are full-time positions. This is a full-time position that's based in Westminster. Then East Coast retail specialist. You're going to be working under the distribution manager, I guess. That would be in Carlisle, Pennsylvania at the Rep warehouse. I mean, at the Rep Pennsylvania store. The senior Amazon manager. That's in Westminster, Colorado. Okay, no problem. Then they got an engineer for commercial equipment. That's I don't know if that's a good salary or not for an engineer, because I don't know what the cost of living is in Colorado. I would assume it's lower because Rep Fitness refuses to move out of there. So maybe $134,000 a year is pretty good for the senior engineer in the commercial equipment division. Here's the one I don't understand. Why does the social media manager have to be based in Colorado? Why isn't this position virtual? Because I remember when I interviewed Kyle a few weeks ago, he came on the show. He was talking about, I asked him why he didn't ever take a position, something like that, working for a company. And because he's obviously got the knowledge base, he knows how to run social media, and he's familiar with the product, familiar with the brand. Those are the things you would want, right? But he said positions like this are typically on site, which makes no sense to me. Why does the social media manager, who's going to basically be working on, he's going to be working with a social media team, yes, but a lot of the social media team is going to be based in other places, and you're going to be doing a lot of stuff with influencers. So the social media manager would be part of the marketing team, and he's going to be sending stuff out to influencers, sending out, like products for them to review, things like that. Right? All of those people you're going to communicate with by email, by DMs, all that kind of stuff. I don't understand why this position has to be in Colorado. And I'm not interested in the position, but I'm just saying, like, it seems to me like you're cutting out the majority of your talent pool, because I'm not sure. Again, you know what? We can find out what's the cost of living in Colorado. That's not how you spell that. Cost of living, Colorado. All right. Is it expensive to live in Colorado? So that's $24.32 a month to live in Colorado. And then if we do some mathematics here, $24.32 times 12. Oh, that's not too bad. So the average cost of living is like $30,000 a year. So apparently, if you work in Colorado, you're making $100,000. You living pretty good. Okay. But still, are people going to be willing to drop everything and move to Colorado to be a social media manager? Because I keep on seeing, hey, I know that Rep is growing, but I just keep seeing like these ads coming out. Hey, we're hiring you. And this isn't the first time that I've seen them advertising for or putting the word out that they're looking for a social media manager. To me, that's a position that doesn't need to be on site. Most of the stuff they're going to be doing is online anyway. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, this is just my opinion about virtual work. If you're concerned that the person that you're hiring isn't going to work, if you don't have them on site where you can see them, you shouldn't hire them in the first place. And that's all there is to that. Okay. I know tons of people who work. Heck, my wife works from home. She's downstairs in her office right now, and she does stuff in the medical field. So if you can trust people to work from home for something important like people's medical bills and whatnot, then you could probably trust them to work from home doing content creation for social media, because that's where they are right now. I mean, that's where I do my content creation for social media, from my house. So I don't understand why that position has to be on site in Colorado. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you move to Colorado to work for Rep Fitness? I want to know. Drop it in the chat. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in there. Let me know. Would you move to Colorado to work for Rep Fitness, either as an engineer or in the social media, as their social media manager? And let me know about that. Now, let's check out what you got. I'm completely ignoring. I see someone else has brought up butterflies. So there we go. Once again, this is a no butterfly zone. I'm just going to keep on telling y'all until you believe me. All right. Let's see here. Jared Martin, referring back to the members only videos. I like to see alternative training styles. I need to get more into mobility, for example. All right, so that sounds pretty cool. In terms of alternative training styles, would you just like to see like more examples of alternative training styles? And what I mean by that is like, so an alternative training style essentially is anything you're not already doing, right? So are you talking about you like to see different options? So maybe mace and club work, ways to incorporate kettlebells, or do you want to see more like dedicated mobility training, kind of like what they do over at Flow Motion Fitness, where they use normal barbells. Actually, if you didn't know, to be honest with you, if you didn't know that what they're doing is mobility training, you would think that they're just doing bodybuilding type exercises. All right, which is why I hired them to be my mobility coaches, because they use the exercises that you would normally use for like bodybuilding essentially, but they use those to build your mobility. All right. So are you looking for dedicated mobility videos, or are you looking for more like ways to kind of like do like mace training or old time physical culture type exercises or body weight stuff? Just give me a little bit more information, or you just want to see different ways that other people train. Let me know how that goes. Matt said he's willing to move to Colorado. Wants to know how much a work visa is. I'm not sure I can't help you with all of that. Okay. First of all, I don't even know if they would allow you in the United States with the way that you talk about our country and the imperial system, which is the best system. All right. We do inches and pounds over here. Okay. We don't do centimeters and kilos. So I'm not sure that you'd be able to adapt to our culture. You sent me a DM of your controversial set of plates. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see here. I do not see said DM. Let me see. Check it right now. Boom. Said you were active 3 minutes ago. I gotta expand my browser window. It's not okay. So it's not letting me see the picture. Let me try looking at it on my phone. This is the kind of riveting video or riveting content that you guys come here to see. All right. All right. So, oh, I see what the problem is, because the way that the way your settings are set, um, it's not it doesn't do it like as a still shot. Instead, it's kind of like a video, so it's gonna like disappear as soon as I drop this. So I don't actually have a way to well, hold up. So see if you guys can see that. Those are the controversial plates right there. But that's not gonna work for me. So now I got to go through the process of let me see if this thing will let me, and it won't even let me download it. Oh, wait a minute, now we got a video. All right, so just let me save the video. All right, so we're gonna go through the process. I'm gonna upload the video, put it on my Google Drive, and then I'll share it with you guys so you guys will be able to check it out. All right, so and I'll get all that done right after the next segment. Okay, but let's see here. Jared said, okay, so Jared says different options, just want to gain awareness of beneficial styles of training. So this way, all right, so it wouldn't be like an interview. You'd want somebody to do a sample workout. That's what I think. Okay. All right. And you said the mobility stuff sounds awesome. Drop a link if I have one. Yeah, sure. I'm happy to do it. The easiest, so for anybody else who's interested in the Flow Motion Fitness training stuff, I'll go ahead and I will show this to you right. Let's see here. Go ahead and do this on here. They're really cool as far as how they program too. They have an app, but you can get a lot of you can kind of see how they program and stuff like that just by looking at their YouTube videos, and you can also check them out on Instagram. So here we go. All right, so this is got it. All right. So I'm posting this in the chat right there. So there you go, Jared. And then, all right, so there you go. So I just posted in the chat. So if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, you can just go to the chat and you'll be able to see the link to Flow Motion Fitness. And if you're watching on replay, I will add the link to Flow Motion Fitness in the description for this video, so you guys can check them out. Like I said, they have an app, which is probably going to be the most cost-effective method, but they can also do personalized training for you if you want to pay a little bit more money. But to me, it's perfectly worth it, because if you divide out what it costs over the course of a year, and then you compare that to the cost of, and I've personally experienced this, the cost of going to go get surgery or going to go get rehab work done, it's definitely a lot less expensive. Oh, my guy, Justin Holland, another Discord member. What's up? So good morning. Says would have been here sooner, but the new baby had other plans. Man, that's what kids do. Kids do that to you, Justin. They show up and then they change your life completely. So, hey, congratulations on the newborn. Appreciate you jumping in here. And in fact, I was talking to Justin the other day. I mentioned that there are going to be changes coming to our Discord. And I was talking to Justin the other day about making the Discord. We're going to start growing the Garage Gym Life Discord. The focus for the Discord, the difference between my Discord and the Home Gym Discord is my Discord is more of a training focused Discord. It's not that we don't talk about equipment, but there it's like, hey, you show, for example, you can post that you hit a PR, right? Just like you could on Instagram, but you post your PR, or you post like if you're training and you hit a sticking point. Anybody got any advice? Things like that. So we just go in there and we like to talk training. And if you have equipment, then for me, my question is always going to be, well, that's great. It looks nice. How is that going to help you get to your goals? Whereas the Home Gym Discord is more like a place you can go and you can just kind of, in general, just talk about equipment. That's a huge oversimplification of what they do over there. But my point is that I'm not telling you not to join the Home Gym Discord. I'm just saying that my Discord has a little bit of a different focus, and we're going to be doing a little bit more to grow the Garage Gym Life Discord. There's a link in the description for this video. You guys go check it out. Would love to have all of you guys join in our Discord and add into the conversation. See, Matt says that he'd make life too logical and easy for global markets and engagement. When you're the leader, you don't bend to the rest of the world. The rest of the world bends to you. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Justin said he's excited about the Discord growth. Let's all get more involved with it. Yeah, because I'd want the Discord will also be a place where, if I post a video here on YouTube, then we can go talk about the video in Discord. Once we start to get some traction, I'm also available, like, maybe after the live stream is over, I go over to the Discord and I'll be in there to kind of talk, chop it up with you guys for about an hour or so after the live streams are over. Anything that you guys would like to talk about or whatever. I want to make it a fun place where I have competitions, things like that, giveaways, all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely motivated to make the Garage Gym Life Discord grow. All right, so now let's move on to the next thing, and that is, what is Bells of Steel doing? I honestly don't know what they're doing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Kayvon posted this on the Bells of Steel Instagram. So I'll just go ahead and I'll share this so you guys.
Anyway, what I made.
Look at that. I'll go ahead and I'll play that again. So this is the weight and bar storage. And he's got the leg extension on there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I saw it, I was like, what are they doing? Okay. Bells of Steel had a ton of other stuff. They had they are actually also coming out with it looks like their own version of a tib bar. And then they've got the Olympic barbell, the training bar. It's like the 7-ring bar. So they got a lot of stuff that's coming out. But when I saw that, I was like, what exactly? I don't know if that's a joke or if they're really trying to do something with that. So those of you, I know some of you guys got contact with Kayvon. So if anybody's got more information about that, let me know. Real quick, I want to let you guys know that we do have an under the desk elliptical review. That's the most recent thing that we reviewed. My wife did it. I know you guys are fans of 5 Minutes of Fitness Tech that she does. So she did a review of the under the desk elliptical from Ann Cheer, which is not a brand that we really, to be honest with you, we had kind of like low expectations of it. But my wife got the under the desk elliptical and she was like, this actually was not too bad. It's she's a big fan of it. So the link to check that video out is in the description for the video. You guys go check that out after this video is over if you're watching the replay. And it's not a replacement for like working out. It's not going to replace your training session, but she said that the biggest thing is that it basically lets you, if you work from home, it lets you stay active. I guess you could take it with you to your office too, but it lets you kind of increase your activity level. And in fact, Kayvon said that he's got, I don't know what brand he uses, but he also has an under the desk elliptical, and it basically just increases your activity level. The thing that I think it might help if you sit, like if I sit for a very, very long time, like even when I'm doing this show, it starts to happen about the 3-hour mark. I start feeling like I'm really stiff. But when the show's over, I get up and I go downstairs and I get on the treadmill. So it kind of works out. But if you're in a situation where you can't do that, let's say you're at work, you can't just get up and go get on the treadmill, then an under the desk elliptical allows you to continue to keep your not only add to your daily activity level, your non-exercise activity level, or your NEAT, or unless you want to call it NEPA, that's non-exercise physical activity. And that's going to, if you nudge that up, and it's actually going to help you with controlling your weight and things like that. But it also helps keep blood flow going to the legs. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check that out right here on the Garage Gym Life channel. Now, we also have a discount. I do a horrible job of letting people know about that, but basically there's a link to get it in the description for that video. And if you click that link, you'll get a 15% discount. No, I'm sorry, you get a 5% discount. You get a discount, whatever it is, you get a discount. All right, you guys can see why I don't do affiliate links as a general rule, because I'm horrible at that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's move on to something else. So I got an opportunity from a company called Ativa Fit, and I had never heard of them, but apparently they make dumbbells. So I'm going to show you guys their dumbbells now. And I want to know if you guys are interested in their dumbbells. Basically, would you be interested in me doing this review? So these are their dumbbells. You guys see, they kind of, like when I looked at them, they kind of looked to me like the Bowflex Select Tech dumbbells, right? And I was like, I've not been a fan of the Bowflex Select Tech dumbbells since they came out. I actually had a pair. I had the pair that went up, the pair that went up to 52 pounds. And I wasn't a fan. So when they came out with their pair that went up to 90 pounds, I didn't get it because I had already decided I wasn't a fan of the 52 pounds. And the reason I'm not a fan of it is because they just weren't durable. They broke. What happened? So somebody came over to work out with me. He dropped the dumbbells after a set. They were broken. The little adjustment clip that held the individual plates in broke. And so they were completely worthless to me. And I'm like, it's convenient to be able to switch that between weights that fast, but it really they weren't durable. Occasionally my wife and I work out at the same time. And so if she needs to use the dumbbells at the same time, I need to use the dumbbells. That's a lot of switching back and forth. It's just annoying. What if she does a lot of supersetting. So it just wouldn't be workable for us. So for us, it's a lot more convenient to just have a dumbbell rack. But I don't do reviews based upon what I need. I do reviews based upon what you guys are interested in. So is this something that you guys are interested in learning more about? These adjustable dumbbells from Ativa Fit. I think, let me go ahead. I'll just jump in here. This is their website. So this is what the 66-pound set looks like. You guys can see why I said they remind me of the Bowflex dumbbells, right? They look like they're about $399. And I have not I've not touched them. I've never used them. And so just kind of interested to see if you guys, I'm interested to find out if you guys are interested in seeing more about these dumbbells, or if you're like, man, I'll pass. All right. So drop a comment in the chat. Let me know if you want to see more about these dumbbells. If you're watching on replay, drop a comment there and let me know if you are interested in checking out the Ativa Fit dumbbells. And we'll see you all there. Now, not as awesome. Not as awesome. Well, okay, before I move on to the next item in my inbox, Jared has a comment. He said he's used the 1090s for over a decade. You can't drop them like normal dumbbells, but mine have taken a few drops and they still work well. I mean, so here's the thing about that, right? I would assume that Bowflex has improved their design. What I'm saying is that I used the Select Text when they first came out, and because I had a bad experience with them, I pretty much was done with them, especially given the fact that, like I said, I started training with other people. So my kids started training with me, and it just wasn't convenient to have. We got 4 boys, so there's 5 people working at the same time, all trying to use the same dumbbells. That's not gonna that didn't work for us. And then even now, where it's just me and my wife, it still doesn't work because of her workout style and mine, right? So I'm not interested in them, but for the sake of, but I don't doubt that they have probably improved the design. That's what originally turned me off about them. And it makes sense if you've already got the Bowflex, then yeah, I'm not surprised that you're not particularly interested in those dumbbells. All right, so let's move on to the next thing because we're getting almost at the top of the hour, and we're going to be joined by Dennis Solis. So let me run through this and see if we can. All right, so other offers that I got, and I'm not going to take these offers. I'm not even considering them. And in fact, as soon as I'm done with this segment, I'm deleting them from my inbox. I got an offer to do a review of a waterproof mattress protector. So number one, I can't think of a single way. First of all, I don't understand what this has to do with home gyms. But number two, I can't think of a single way that I could test a waterproof mattress protector and maintain my dignity. Okay. I'll just stay there. All right. I mean, even let's say I took the garden hose and we're up on the second floor. Our bedroom's on the second floor. So even if I haul the garden hose up through the window and I'm standing there with the garden hose spraying the waterproof mattress, one, we're assuming my wife is out of town because she ain't going for that if I'm in town, if she's in town. All right. And two, that may be entertaining for 30 seconds, but I'm not about to do that. And I'm not about to dump buckets of water on my bed. I just can't get down with a waterproof mattress protector. And I'm also not interested in the other offer I got, which is for tourmaline balls. I do not know, in all fairness, I don't know what a tourmaline ball is. All right. So I'm going to find out right now, real life, because I actually got this offer right before the show started. Okay. So apparently, according to the Google machine, tourmaline is a 6-member ring cyclosilicate having a trigonal crystal system. Okay. Oh, okay. And apparently it helps you. And if you have one of these 6-member ring cyclosilicates having a trigonal crystal system in your possession, it supposedly helps you understand yourself and others, promote self-confidence, and lessens your fear. Well, I ain't scared of much, and I understand me. So now, so there we go. So basically, like I said, those are the 3 items that came in my inbox. 1 kind of interesting, and 2 definite no's, but such is my life. Let's see. Tattoo Saying says, personally, I've moved away from adjustable dumbbells to a rack set, and I advise anyone with the space to do the same. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I know it takes up a lot more space, and I also the Rep and Pepin dumbbell collaboration is definitely very durable. Okay, I saw them at Home Gym Con. They're durable. If I've seen the videos of them dropping them, they're definitely durable. And then there's also the Newell bells. Ashley, the legendary 332. She has a set of Newell bells, and she seems pretty satisfied with them. I'm just saying that for me personally, they wouldn't be a good fit, but I'm looking to see what the level of interest is because not everybody can afford the Newell bells. Not everybody can afford some of these other dumbbells. So I'm just looking to see if it's even worth it to go ahead and explore it further. So yeah, go ahead, keep dropping your comments. Let me, because I'm interested to see what you guys think. Carp says I had 2 sets of Bowflex dumbbells that broke internally, so after that they were no longer on the radar. He said he never dropped his; they just wore down internally and they wouldn't hold the plates. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. It's like in the beginning, I don't even know when you like at what point in the life cycle of product you bought yours, but I know I got the first version of them that came out, and I was pretty much done with them. I didn't have any interest in continuing to try to use the product because, maybe if I was in a situation where it was just me training here, I might say, well, I'll try it again. Maybe I'll reach out to the company, see what the warranty looks like. That kind of like that ship has sailed for me. I am not going to be drinking pre-workout in bed and missing my mouth. Not going to do that for the waterproof mattress. That waterproof mattress is not showing up at my house. All right. Carlos says he still has the Bowflex bells. So Carlos and Jared still have the Bowflex dumbbells, and Carlos has an apartment gym. So they are a space-saving feature. So the question I have though is, would you be interested in watching the video of the Ativa Fits just to see the comparison? Because I know sometimes you guys watch, you can't tell me that you guys don't watch videos of products that are like products you already have, even though you don't plan on buying them, just because you're interested in watching it. So I'm just saying, like, would you guys be interested in watching the video to learn more about this product? Oh, and I'm not surprised that Matt Welch knows about tourmaline. He says the gemstone. Yeah, we're not bringing any more of those at my house. I understand myself just fine, and I don't have a self-confidence problem. He said he's a qualified gemologist. I believe you, Matt. I believe you. All right, so Carlos, so we got 1 vote. Said he'd like to watch the video just to compare the difference. Okay, 1 vote. That's all we need. All we need is 1. All right, my guy Dennis. Dennis Solis. Just like magic. Look at this dude. All right, that's a military veteran right there. All right, on time. On time. He is backstage and ready to go. He's tan. He's rested. He's doing jumping jacks right now. Why would I make that up? All right, but before we go to Dennis, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the Central Time Zone. We already got some Central Time Zone members here, but for everybody else, welcome to the Way Too Early for a Friday Morning show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. If you're in the Central Time Zone, it is 6 a.m. for you. 7 8. Well, it's 5:58. Close enough. If this is your first time checking out the show, checking out my channel, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, help me hit my goal of reaching 50,000 subscribers. We are at 36,000. We are at 36,000 subscribers right now. We're marching towards 40,000. We had a little bit of a hiccup last week, but the train is marching on. We're picking up steam again. So I need you guys' help to do it. There's also one other thing that I need you guys to do if you would like to support this channel. And let me go ahead and let you know what it is now. Hey, I don't want you to just watch this video. I need you to like, subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, I want you to join our channel for 99 cents a month so you can help us improve YouTube for the home gym community. Okay, back to the video. All right, and if you join this channel, all you gotta do is click that join button that's in the bottom right-hand corner of the video to become a channel member. Click that join button, and you will also immediately gain access to all of our member exclusive videos, such as the Chronicles of Dresmond, my cousin who lives with me and he's impossible to deal with. You get to see the things I go through dealing with that dude. You also get access to other exclusive members only videos, as well as you get early access to every single video that I put out on the Garage Gym Life channel. So go ahead, click that join button. It is only 99 cents a month. It's less than $1 a month, and it will go a long way towards supporting the channel. All right. So let us see here. So we got some shout outs from the other people from the Central Time Zone. Carlos is in Central Time Zone. Shout out to you. Eric, Eric and Carlos have already been here, but hey, shout out to you guys. Same thing with Carb's Gym. Carb said he bought the Bowflex dumbbells new from Play It Again Sports. Said they were like $800 with the stand back then. That was like 2008, 2010. Yeah. So I got my Bowflex dumbbells. I believe it was like 2003, 2004, because I got them when I got back from Iraq. And so that would have been 2005, actually. Got back from Iraq. And that I think that's when I got my Bowflex dumbbells. Yeah. I got rid of mine and I haven't looked back. Man who parks in gym talking about the rep fitness thing. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I don't understand why. And to be honest with you, they're cutting off their nose to spite their face, because even so, somebody like you, who has experience with social media, and it's not just, here's the thing, let me back up. So you can actually take social media stuff in school. I get that. But what you're not going to know if you're just a social media person, yes, you can do market research and all that. But what you're not going to have is the innate understanding of the home gym community, which represents right now their biggest, I would say, customer base. I know that they're moving into the commercial space. And so they probably want someone who can also help kind of navigate that. But definitely, in my opinion, most fitness people don't live in Colorado. So you're asking somebody to move to Colorado to do your social media. You're asking somebody to move to Colorado to work on the internet for you, which makes no sense. Why can't they just be wherever they are now and work on the internet for you? You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't make any sense to me. But we now have my guy Dennis is backstage. We're going to go ahead and bring him in here. Dennis is our first guest. So everybody, show your love. My guy, Dennis Solis.
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning. Like Jesse Jackson used to say, it's morning time. Inspired. Just hearing that make you want to go march somewhere. All right. Anyway, man, what's going on, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. There's been so much that's happened, and kind of like in the field, things that I've been doing, crazy things.
You got notes in your hand? Did you like bring notes?
Yeah, I did.
This guy is prepared.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're a guest, all other guests, take note. All right, right there. This guy is ready to go. You see that he brought notes. He's got I don't know. He studied for this test. Okay?
Can you read this chicken scratch?
I cannot.
Okay,
that is beyond my current capabilities. No, I don't have that technology. I realize that they say supposedly the government has satellites that can read license plate though. So you might stick it outside, see if the NASA astronauts can read it. But
they probably
cannot.
Can. It's pretty bad.
I personally cannot read it. All right, let's see who's in the chat here. Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Already with the banner.
Here we go. Hey, I'm just saying. He's got a spot for it. Dennis, I know where you can buy a Garage Gym Life banner. I know where you can get one. I'm just saying.
Freedom Fitness, right?
Let's see here. What'd you say?
Freedom Fitness.
That's right. What? You know, all right, there you go. Freedom Fitness Equipment, only place in America or the world, actually, where you can buy a Garage Gym Life banner. All right. Matt Welch, who's in the UK and has a Garage Gym Life banner, no pressure, says, it says, good morning, Dennis. Coach Carp, who also has a Garage Gym Life banner, no pressure. He's talking about the rep. Did you hear what I was talking about with the rep fitness thing? They are hiring rep fitness in Colorado. That's not that far from you now. You in California, you'd have to, but rep fitness is hiring. They've got multiple positions available. So You can go to the Rep Fitness website, click on careers, and see if there's something there they got. But Carp said he's his wife and sister-in-law, they're accountants, and they work for companies all over the country digitally. Yeah, it's definitely could be the same thing. Because most of the positions for rep, they want you to move to Colorado. Hey, we did I did the research for you. Cost of living in Colorado is apparently about $30,000 a year, and they're paying about 90 grand. So you might be living pretty good, Dennis.
Yeah, I mean,
do you mind the mountains?
No, I mean, I have family in Colorado, and
we might be. Hold on, now we're getting closer. So now you get you closer to family. You depending on where in Colorado you move now, there may be a certain substance in the air that you might have to deal with all the time. But okay.
Yeah,
you
my
get
family. That's where they're from. They're from Denver, and yeah, we go visit all the time. We love
Look at that, bam. Dennis, we're going to get you a job with Rep Fitness. All right. Next time you visit, don't visit, just move there. All right. Let's see here. So let's jump into if you guys have any questions specifically for Dennis, do you make sure you go ahead and drop them in the chat right here. If you are watching on replay and you have a question for Dennis does home gym equipment installation. You can put them in the comments, and then he'll come back, or he'll circle back around, and he will answer your comments if you put them in the comments on replay. But go ahead. So Dennis, you said you had a bunch of stuff going on. You've been doing a lot of installations, and when I was talking to you earlier this week, and I was like, yeah, we talk about what we want to talk about. I said, well, give me any lessons that you might have learned while putting together equipment. You're like, oh yeah, actually, I'm learning a lesson right now. So you sounded like it was a stressful time for you. I want to know what happened, Dennis. You're in a safe space. Go ahead and talk.
And you guys always make me feel safe and welcome. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But this particular story that we're talking about was a build for Vander Fitness. They have this new line. It's called F1.
Okay.
But there's no instructions, or the instructions are kind of they're shoddy, and they don't give you bolt length, and so you just have this packaging of bolts and washers and whatever else.
Hold on a second, Dennis, because I want to help people understand. So you were putting together the F1 tank from Vander.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to show everybody what that is, so that they don't think they kind of feel your pain a little bit. So that you were putting that together.
Yeah.
Okay. And no instructions came with it.
No. Not at all. No instructions. Zero instructions. But I made a couple of videos, and I told people in the video, like, hey, this is a system more for people like me who are putting it together all the time, have familiarity with leverage, leaning things on your body, on your shoulder while putting them together. It's not easy. Not one person can do it. I did it by myself, but a regular person who's doing this by themselves for the first time, it'll take them like 8-9 hours.
Oh my!
Let me turn up the volume here. 1 second. Sorry.
Look at that. You had to put.
Yeah.
All right. So we already got the questions coming in fast and furious. The first comment, I think, is the most appropriate. Yeah. All right. Look at that. Matt wants to know how many times you were swearing at it as you built it. Integrity. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, in recognition of what you went through, I'm going to give you this, all right? Because you didn't have it. Here we go. Just for you. It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, because he's not happy.
There you go. All right. And we are mad on your behalf. Okay. We're mad with you. All right. All right. Now, how many times did you swear at this contraption?
I wasn't really mad at that, but I was mad at the temperature. It was like 101 that day.
Okay, so were you putting it in somebody's garage?
Yeah. So my partner Roy, he's the owner of Vander Fitness. He connected me with his client, and we set up an appointment to
So you were
deliver.
swearing at Roy.
No, no, no,
Did you call Roy and cuss him out?
no.
Integrity.
No, just the sun, man. Oh my God, the sun will eat you up over here in California. I mean, I was in a garage, and I did have.
So
If you
zero
wanna-
ventilation.
Yeah, there was some ventilation going on,
Okay.
but man, it was tough. It was
I
a
mean, what
tough-
I'm saying is like, so if you're in a garage, you open the garage door. Now you're in California, Inland Empire, so it's not as bad. But here in Georgia, it's so humid that even if you open the door, the garage door, it's still hot, right? But for you guys, once you're inside, it's not quite as bad because it's not as humid. But still, man, you're not getting a ton of like air circulating in the garage. It's just you're basically in a 3-sided box
Yeah.
when you go in a garage, right? So that don't sound like fun at all. But however, I will say that everyone says that they are very impressed with your skill set because you
cool.
put that
Thanks.
thing together with no instruction manual.
No.
So
Yes.
you just basically just kind of like went for it, like, okay, I'm just.
Yeah, that was leading me to what I wanted to say. Like, okay, so when you're putting things together, like posts and then the framework together, you're gonna find a bolt. You're just like say, okay, I'm gonna put it in, try it in, see what's going on. Put the washer, put the head in, and you see that there's too many threads sticking on the other side of that post or framework or whatever you attach it to. And it's most likely not supposed to be there. So that's something that I learned this past bolt. You should be counting some of the threads. Are they excessive, or are the threads even the right pitch? And there's so many things that could go on, but like take a minute just to visualize like what's going on. There's too many threads here. This bolt doesn't belong here. Switch it out. And you want to do that early in the game. Otherwise, if you tighten it down, oh man, you're gonna have some trouble later on in the build where you need to take that bolt from the corner left post and bring it up to somewhere completely opposite. So that's something that I learned. Just be careful.
So here's the thing. So whenever we're putting stuff together, I've got a couple of things that I've learned over the course of the years. A couple of like tried and true strategies that I go with. Right. Number one is phone a friend. Okay, that's you. Basically, all right. So for those who don't know, when I run into something that I can't figure out how to put together, I FaceTime Dennis and I just show him the thing and then he helps me figure it out. All right. So he's been through this before. But the other thing I do, even when you get instructions, man, sometimes you have to what you call it? So like the manual isn't clear. So what I usually do is I'll take like the picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's put together all the way. Like literally, I'll say, okay, I'm looking at what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And that's how me and my wife will figure out how to put this thing together. We're like, okay, all right. So we're supposed to end up here. All right. This is where we are. There's nothing but bolts and cross members all over the place. But when we're done, we're supposed to have this right here. And then we'll just have like the phone up or whatever.
Make it look like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I mean, like sometimes we'll like so we have a TV in our garage gym, and so we'll take like the picture on the TV, and then we'll cast it to the TV.
Oh.
So then now that way we can just look up at the TV and see what the picture looks like. I mean, it's good if they've got an assembly video or something like that. But a lot of times, as you and I have talked about many times, companies don't have an assembly video.
Yeah.
Even though, and actually that's where I think, so Dennis, that's where you come in because you do have assembly videos of a lot of different things. In fact, I've got one that I need to send you. I'm almost done editing. All right. But I've got one I need to send you because people get this stuff and they don't have the experience that you have to put these things together. How long did it take you to get to the point where you could say, just take a power rack? It's a Smith machine, right? The F1?
Yeah. So this one took me 7 hours to put together myself.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it was a long time.
That's rough. So Michael Vaudrey said it's appropriate to offer the recliner raised to you, but on the flip side, he said no instructions equals job security. So you think did you ask Roy why he doesn't have an instruction manual? That's
No.
actually a very good question that Matt said. What's going on? Where's the instruction manual? Did he just
probably
believe?
just didn't show up? Sometimes that happens.
Oh, there is an instruction manual. He just didn't send you one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's not what we thought. I thought you were saying that there's no instruction manual for this thing at all. So everybody's just going to suffer.
No, this particular job, this one.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but there's usually an instruction manual. But like most of them that come from overseas, it's not the best. Images are not going to be there, or plates are not going to be there. You just have to.
Oh yeah, it's like a drawing that some engineer. So a lot of times the instruction manuals that I get when I'm putting something together, they look like the engineer's diagram when they were designing it, which is great if you're an engineer, but then that's not helpful for me. Yeah, I don't like that. I like videos. So now we got a detective on the case. Matt said basically Roy was in his office laughing at you, using your manual as a fan. Fanning himself with the manual. That's hilarious right there.
That's pretty
funny.
Good.
Yeah. Now we're actually going to, here's what I'm going to do for you. We're supposed to be getting Roy on the show, right? Roy's going to be a guest on the show. And we're going to ask Roy why he didn't have an instruction. That's the first question I'm going to ask him. Why did you send Dennis this thing without an instruction manual? All right, I'm writing that down. All right, I got you. I'm gonna step in because you don't want to damage the relationship. You don't want to damage the friendship, and you all and he sends you business, but he ain't gonna do nothing to me. So I'll ask him for you. Okay,
Thank
got
you.
Oh no, I'm here for you. We got another one. So Michael said that's worth a banner. Are you offering to buy Dennis a banner? Because I know where you can buy 2 banners. You can get yourself one and then one for Dennis and send it to him as a gift, Michael.
It's only $50. I'm gonna do it. I'm just
we'll work out some. Let's see. Carlos is very impressed by you though, because he said you built that on muscle memory.
Yeah.
Look at his face. He's like, yeah, pretty much.
The whole Marcy line, I could do it like with no manual, just by looking at the so like the Marcy. Oh, just recently, yesterday,
Okay.
it was like a repeat client. They called me back. This is a cool success story. I'm not sure how it is in Georgia, but like here in California, housing is really it's ridiculous, expensive. A lot of time and effort goes into purchasing a house. So this past client of mine from 3 years ago, they were living in their garage with their mom. He had a wife, and just a couple weeks ago, he messaged me and said, "Hey, I need your help moving. Do you remember installing this thing in my house?" I said, "Yeah." Well, we're going to be moving. We're moving to another, like a town about an hour away. I was like, okay, cool. No problem. I don't ask too many questions. But when I got there, I remember that the city that I installed it in was like not the best city. It was kind of like a poor city. I actually grew up in that town. It's called La Puente. It's
okay.
It's a pretty tough time. Anyway, so now they're moving to this huge.
Shout out to the La Puente Tourism Bureau. Just completely dunked on your entire city.
I mean, I graduated from there, but there was only like 200 of us that graduated.
You made it out, Dennis.
Anyway. But yeah, they're moving to this beautiful new development in Beaumont. And so it was just a cool story that they started from the dumps, transferred out, and they saved their money. They did their due diligence. They have a brand new house now. It's beautiful. I installed the Marcy SM 4008. It's like the baseline of the Marcy Smith machines. And I put it together, no instructions, just put it together, disassembled, put in the van, transferred it, put it together, cables and all that stuff. So yeah, all by memory.
Okay, so here you go again mentioning junk. So you assembled this
Yeah, that's it. That's their low. That's their baseline. Yeah.
But you assembled that from memory.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So, I have a question though. This kind of relates to your Instagram because I see the stuff you post on Instagram. I see a lot of the stuff that all of you guys post on Instagram, and I noticed that you fanning yourself. The question I have is, don't you have a particular thing in your, or was this at somebody else's house? Because you've got this device right here, right there. That's isn't that like some sort of fan or whatever? No, that's at your house. I recognize those dumbbells. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I see you. So you're sweating in the video. You got the fan on, I'm assuming, the cooling thing on, and you're sweating now.
Yeah.
So is it not working, or is it too loud, or what's the deal with it?
Yeah. I do not have it on. It's loud. It's very loud. Super loud.
I want to hear how loud it is. Turn it on. This is not scripted. Yeah, I see it. Turn it on. Don't hold it up. Turn it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to hear how loud it is. Hold on.
Oh, sir, it's loud. It is loud.
No guts.
Okay. Oh, you asked for it. It's loud as heck.
I want to hear how loud it is. Let's go.
All right. I love this thing though. I love it.
What's this thing called?
Very quick. Let me show you the settings and stuff. All right. So there's a couple settings on here. Only where the water is dripping on the evaporator fan or the membrane, whatever.
Okay.
And then there's the fan and all that other stuff. So.
But what is it called?
It's called Hess Air Portable Evaporator Cooler.
Hess Air Portable Evaporator Cooler. All right. Turn it on. We're going to
All
find
right,
out how
here we
loud
go.
What? Oh, okay. Let's hold on now. So that wasn't too, but see, it's not too bad where it is right now. But yeah, if you pick it up and point it at the phone or at the camera, yeah, it's loud. Yeah, I don't want you to melt right in front. You can turn it on. That doesn't even sound bad at all.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on a lower setting.
There you go. Turn it, face it to yourself, because that way you don't have heat stroke during my interview. Look at him. He's sweating right now.
Yeah, dude, it is hot.
Yeah, what in the world? All right, so
okay.
Let's say so Daniel said he would not touch this. He said the Smith machine's already scary. The bar is high up, but 225 is pretty low for somebody of your stature. Of course, you got Carlos who was saying, do it, about turning that thing, your air condenser on. Yeah. Said just use instructions. So Daniel apparently wasn't paying attention when you mentioned in the beginning, or actually he may have just joined. So let me not say that. If you just joined Daniel, he put the thing together, but didn't get an instruction manual with it. So he had to put the entire thing together off memory. All right. Says bald man, and Carlos said you got bald man problems. You don't have hair to catch the sweat. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I completely understand.
Yes.
Okay, so
aerodynamics.
Yeah, swimming too. Sure, that's what they say. But going back to that condenser right there, how big an area is this supposed to be able to cool off?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, now you can't hear me. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it is too loud. All right. How big an area is that supposed to be able to? How big an area is that little portable air conditioner unit?
Oh, yeah.
How big an area can it handle?
Yeah, so realistically, it could handle maybe, I'd say like 30 square feet.
Okay.
It's not much.
30 square feet.
Yeah, in that video.
Can it cool off your entire garage?
No.
Okay. So it's one of those things where you have to so if you were working out in the garage, you'd have to set it in front of your right where you're working out in order for you to feel it. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say as far as since we're giving recommendations and it is summertime, in your experience, what would be one of the best ways to cool off a garage gym?
Yeah, the best way, absolute best way, is spending the money. You got to put in the money. You got an HVAC system. A lot of homes, they don't have their detached garage. Like I'm in a detached garage. They don't have the ductwork set up that it's connected to the home. So that would be the best option, connecting the ductwork and actually introducing cold air into the system here in the garage.
All
That
right.
would
What
be,
about those portable things? Like, what's the thing? The icy breeze is good enough for Coach Prime, but do you think that thing is good for a home gym environment? Because it sounds like the icy breeze is kind of loud too. It sounds like.
yeah. The icy breeze that coach uses is like super loud, super loud. And they have like permanent hoses attached to them, so you hook up the hose and it just stays there, and you keep it running. It's gonna do its own thing. It's gonna dump itself when it needs to dump itself. No issues. Those are really nice. Those are really cool. It's very expensive though.
So you would okay. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if somebody, because some people may, so like I personally, I've got my garage is kind of enclosed and it's got some stuff like basically it's connected to the air conditioning from the rest of the house.
Yeah.
Right. But some people wouldn't want to do that even if they have a detached garage. So if they're looking, so what would be a nice portable option for them? Would it be basically what you've got there, but just a bigger unit?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great question, but you're exactly right. I like this Hess. It's called Hess Air portable system, and this is the baby, and the baby works pretty well. When I went to Home Depot, there was that $600 one, which is the biggest one, and that said on the packaging that it could take care of an entire living room. But to be honest, it'd probably take care of this garage fairly well, and not do so well in a living room.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, what other tips do you have? We got we got a question for Daniel. All right. So Daniel said a Smith machine is great for squatting, but you should get a boneyard bench press on the side. So, I mean, I'll answer that, and then I'll let you answer it too in terms of like setting up a home gym. I'm actually not a big fan of the Smith machines. Personally, I don't like I remember when they first came out. Y'all remember now? I've been lifting weights since 1993. So I remember when Smith machines started to become very, very popular. The first ones that we got weren't even counterbalanced. Okay, so it's basically it's on like a glide track or whatever, but it wasn't counterbalanced. So you still had all of the weight, right? And the thing that people started noticing, you notice that people went away from them, is because people started seeing that they lock you into a specific movement pattern, and they're not necessarily good for you. Like it didn't translate over to functional, like to the athleticism, basically, right? It didn't translate over to real life, and so people started going away from that. So in my opinion, Smith machine is good for only a very limited range of exercises, and to me it's not a good substitute. It's something that I would get in addition to other things. Okay. And then as far as the boneyard bench press, I mean, sure, yeah, that's a good way to save money. But if you're setting up a home gym for clients or whatever, do you find that a lot of clients are asking you for Smith machines now? Because they seem to be becoming very popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Clients are using and geared towards the Smith machine, and especially in the garage gym environment, they're really concerned about safety and their children being around and using it. Even babies who are like 2-3 years old, we see them on Instagram all the time. They're coming in, messing with mom or dad while they're under the bar and stuff. But yeah, I personally enjoy the Smith machine. I understand it keeps you like in a fixed position, so that when I'm doing my squatting, it helps me because I have weak hips and knees. Okay. So it really helps me focus, staying in that position. But I really have to develop that muscle memory to get there initially, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I do agree with that. It does have you in a fixed position, and it could work against you. But for me, I enjoy it.
Nice.
Helps me develop my lower body for sure.
Now, I mean, like one of the things that I think, there's actually, I can tell you like 2 exercises that I think are really great, and are best done with a Smith machine. The first one is this thing I saw. Golly, he's a bodybuilder. I can't remember his name, but basically, you do like a body weight tricep extension,
Mhm.
right? So your hand is almost like you're doing a push up, but your hands on the bar, and you bring your forehead to the bar, right? And you start out with it where it's like you're doing a push-up, so you're horizontal, right? And then so you do, let's say, a set of 10. Then you stand up and you raise the bar up by 1, and then you do another set of 10,
Yeah.
and you go all the way up until the bar is eye level, and then that's when you're done. So you end up, depending on how many safety catches you have, positions you have, um you might end up doing like essentially a mechanical drop set of maybe 10 different sets.
Yeah.
That will light your triceps up. And there's nothing that compares to it, because if you do it in a power rack, it's going to take you so long to switch the J hooks. Unless you've got like 10 J hooks, it's going to take you so long to switch the J hooks that you don't get the same effect of the continuous tension like you do with the Smith machine if you're using that, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is, have you ever heard of a crucifix bench press?
No.
All right, so it's a bench press to your neck. I'm sorry, guillotine bench press. So it goes to your neck, and it's very good for developing your upper chest, but it's not the safest thing in the world. So, because I mean, again, keyword neck. So if you do it on a Smith machine, though, then you can easily keep control of the bar path, and if you get in trouble, it's easy to lock it on and kind of like stop the bar from. I mean, I'm not saying it's definitely not going to fall on you, but most Smith machines have a thing that'll prevent it from injuring you. So it's a little bit easier and safer to do. Now, Kurt says the Smith machine safety is an illusion, but he says they are far from useless. I've also seen Nick Nilsson has a Smith machine and Nick, shout out to Nick. He's been on the show before. Nick has a thing where he's figured out how to do donkey calf raises with the Smith machine.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that it's a fixed bar path can be used to help you. That's why I said I wouldn't have it by itself, but I can see it in addition to other things. And to be fair, when I first was seeing Smith machines, I worked in a public gym. I've actually worked in 3 different public gyms, and each one of them had a Smith machine. So obviously they also had a power rack. They also had like the walkout squat racks that kind of like with step squat racks. So you had options. You know, that wasn't like your only leg training option. They had the freestanding bench presses, and so if you wanted to bench in the Smith machine, you had all the other things in there. But if you're in a home gym, I personally I like having both, you know, as options. There's another one. Matt had a question. Says, how do you keep so Matt built a shed. So he trains in a shed that he built in his backyard. Okay. He said, how do you keep a wooden gym warm in the winter and cool in the summer? He just put in insulation and he's got some panels that are due to go up soon as well. So he's got insulation already, but then he's got some, I guess, I don't know, solar panels, or he's got some other panels. But I know what I would recommend, but I don't know what the rules are in the UK as far as kerosene, because I just use a kerosene heater because we can use kerosene. I know some people use propane, but I don't know what the rules are over there. What would your suggestion be? What's a good eco-friendly option?
In the UK, AC is not so popular. It's not a very popular, setup. AC, I don't know why. I guess they just don't need it. So I would keep vegetation nearby. So trees help eliminate and kind of like cool things down. Yeah, shade.
Yeah.
So I would like to put trees. I'm more of like a designer, landscaper type of guy. That's just who I am. So I would put trees on like the side of your shed, so that where you're blocking the sun from hitting the shed. Other than that, you already put in paneling and insulation. Those are really good first steps. And you can step up with the AC system, but it's really uncommon in the UK.
I mean, even a window unit.
Yeah, you could do it. It's just, I don't know why.
I mean, I guess he'd have to cut a window in.
Yeah,
He'd
they
have
just
to cut a
don't-
window into the shed. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand. Like, I can't live without AC. It would be.
I don't understand. So here's the thing. So he says fire in a wooden gym. Okay, so let me explain. So a kerosene heater isn't on fire. Okay. Yes, there are flames in the heater. Okay,
Oh my goodness.
But you have to be trying to burn your house down with a kerosene heater.
You guys are crazy. You guys are.
I guess you'd have to like kick it over maybe, but even then, the kerosene heaters have a safety thing, so like if you tip it over, it'll cut off. So, yeah, no. So basically, if you had but that would only solve half the problem because that would take care of the keeping it warm. That's not going to help him with cooling it off. So, yeah, I like the tree idea because you can have like some small, like they don't have to be a giant oak tree. It's just like something to provide a little bit of shade and block the sun out a little bit. Okay, all right. I think you should install solar panels on your shed, and in about 100 years, the people who buy your house from you will get the benefits. But I think you should do it. All right. Talk about fire. Matthew Porter says Smith machines are good for bodybuilding, and he's enjoyed the change of pace with his. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess that's actually a better way to say it. Like for me, Smith machines are good as an accessory for doing accessory work, but I wouldn't use them as my main training. Like even in your situation, right? So you get the Smith machine, but you've also got like your heavy bag, you've got the kettlebells and dumbbells. So I would probably do like my squats and whatnot with the dumbbells. Like I do dumbbell squats, or I do like I pick up the heavy bag and just use that to squat with. And then once I'm done that as my main movement, then I would use the Smith machine to do the accessory work. Because another cool thing you can do with it, I told you, I know exercise you can use it for, is you can it's very easy to set up if you wanted to do rear foot elevated split squats. So you have like your rear, so you stick your back foot is up on the bar, and then you do a stationary, some people call it a stationary lunge, but it's a split, so it's a split squat. So you put your foot up, instead of putting your foot on a bench, you put your foot on the bar of the Smith machine, and you just adjust it to wherever you need it to be. And then as you're
working.
Well, and then the other thing is, unlike a bench, you can adjust the height so that it actually improves your flexibility and range of motion over time. That's another really cool thing that you can use. And of course, calf raises. I said donkey calf raises, but you can do regular standing calf raises on it too. They're really easy to convert to that. Matt has an explanation about the UK and why they don't have a
with them AC. What is it?
So he says the buildings are made to hold heat because typically the winters are colder and the summers are a warm summer is rare. So AC isn't normally required here.
That makes sense.
I hear that, man, but your buildings are also, you have a lot more historical buildings than we do. Like the buildings are older. So you know what, older buildings tend to be smaller.
Yeah.
For the reason that they were trying to keep the heat in, right? And so there's not as much airflow. My mom went to school in England, actually, and she was saying she had like these horror stories of how you had to put what you call, I forgot what I don't know if it was a sixpence or whatever. Basically, you had to put a coin in the heater. Yeah, you had to put a coin in the heater like that. You had to pay for the heater. You put a coin in the heater, and when the money ran out, the heater would cut off. It would only, like a parking meter, it only paid for heat for so long, right? So they'd have to wake up in the middle of the night and put another coin in the heater. And so everybody slept with socks on and multiple layers. I was like, forget that. I'm never. Definitely not. I'm not into that. But then also, so like here in Georgia, a lot of the homes are harder to cool off, are harder to heat because it's so hot down here. So you've got higher ceilings and big open spaces. And so when it's wintertime, if we do get like a very cold winter, it's really, really difficult. It costs more to heat your house.
Yeah,
because it just depends on where you are. All right. my man Coach Carp signing off, but he'll be back on the replay. I can guarantee that. We'll see you in a little bit, Carp.
Going to work?
Yeah, he's at work right. He's probably supposed to be in a meeting right now. He's been playing hooky, I'm sure. But that's the kind of effect I have on people. Well, man, before we let you go, so you've got a bunch of stuff coming up. So what are some things that you got coming up on your YouTube channel? And everybody needs to go ahead and follow my guy too. Follow, let's see if we can get this right. So on Instagram, it's, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna put it in here. Just tell people to follow you. Here we go. Go ahead and tell everybody what you got coming up, and I'll post the stuff to go across the bottom here.
All right. So on my YouTube channel, we're going to be launching a TV series, and we're going to be helping veterans transform their garage into a garage gym. So we're going to capture the whole thing, document the whole thing, beautiful storytelling, and we're going to basically share my story, but from a different, multiple facets. So a little bit about me. The only reason why I'm here is because of John, to be honest, and the garage gym community. I wouldn't be here sitting in front of you talking about my experiences, sharing my knowledge with you guys if it hadn't been for the garage gym. So it's changed my life. I want to change the life of veterans, and hopefully they could become better parents, better people in society, and just gain a confidence that I was lacking when I didn't have any of this and I wasn't a part of the community. So that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do. And I hope we could do it. I hope we could reach as many veterans as possible. And I need your help. Absolutely, I need your help.
All right, so you've got that post on your Instagram, which you want veterans to come check it out. So everybody go ahead and follow at Home Fitness Works on Instagram, and you'll see that post. But also, more specifically, how can people, because you and I have been talking about this project for a while, how can people who are watching, if they want to get involved in the project, if they know a veteran who might be interested, or if they are a veteran themselves and they want to help out, what are some specific things that you want them to do? Do you just want them to reach out to you? Like, how do you want them to, we also have people on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn as well. That's where you reached out to me. So how can what specifically do you want people to do?
Yeah, so I would like people to DM me on Instagram. That's where I have the video, and there we're going to be launching more instructional videos as far as steps required, some of the things that we're going to be looking at for video submissions, because that's what we really need. We need video submissions of veterans claiming their story, and making sure that we put out the best information, the best show possible. So yeah, go on Instagram, Home Fitness Works, and leave me a DM. We could get together and we'll start shooting questions back and forth. Make sure that we get the right people in front of the camera.
So essentially, it's kind of like it'll work like the CrossFit Open then, where people submit their video and then you pick out, the people, like, say, okay, maybe we'll get down to like the 5 people,
yes,
the finalists or whatever. And those would be the people that you would then say, hey, good, now we're going to come film or whatever. Is that the basic idea?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kurt, who is currently serving in the military, said that's awesome. He's getting ready to be a veteran, though.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, and that's one reason why I said I encourage you to go to Home Gym Con, because at Home Gym Con, man, there's like a huge community of veterans. In fact, we typically take a picture, all of us, before the weekend is over. We'll all get together. We'll take a picture, all the people who've served in the United States military, and so that's like a built-in. I don't want to call it a talent pool.
It's like a bonus for sure.
Yeah, it's like a built-in group of people you can talk to, who either they can might be willing to share their story, or they know people who they can connect you to. Because I mean, every veteran knows another veteran, right? So we can say, oh yeah, so I can connect you with these people. So like Chris from Belt-Fed Strength, for example, that's the first name that pops in my head. Rob from Vintage Weights, PGH, he's a veteran. There's like I said, there are people all over. Hey, Hold on a sec. Kurt says he is a veteran. Hold on. So you retired? Oh, nice. Congratulations, man. You made it. Welcome to Camp Couch. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. I promise you, you'll like it. All right.
Okay, I have one question. One more question.
Yeah.
Each branch has their flavor or whatever of energy drink. In the Navy, right? we had Rippets.
I'm not sure where this question's going, but go ahead.
We had Rippets.
Rippets?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what Rippet is. It's RIPIT.
Yes.
Rippet. Yeah, I've seen that at the gas station. Yeah.
Kurt, what are you guys drinking and what branch you in?
Well, I can answer that. He's in the Air Force, but
okay,
I do not. The Air Force had. Oh, okay. He says he says we define veteran differently. Yeah, to me, veterans are you're already out, right? As opposed to actively serving. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess technically, if you serve in a war zone, then you're a veteran of that war. Yes. But I'm talking about like a veteran, who's already got out. But yeah, so anyway, but since he's in here, so I don't know what the Air Force energy drink would be, but I would say he's there we go. He said Rippets are the class 1 yard drink of choice. Okay. I don't know, man. I mean, we just had, from what I can remember, man, we just had the same stuff that everybody else had. They had if you go to the PX on base, I mean, they had Monster, they had all the stuff that I don't remember us having like some specific drink that we drank.
We only had Rippets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about Pendleton specific. Heck, I was just at Quantico. I was just at Quantico in June. Yeah, I was at Quantico in June, and they had the same. I mean, I grant you that's where the officers, and the officers go that sergeant's course, so you don't have as many like lower ranked people there, but still, I mean, they pretty much had the same. They had C4, they had Monster. What I did not see is Redcon, which is ironic. Yeah. But I don't remember when I was in. I grant you, I got out of the Marine Corps in 2008. So maybe they didn't have all that stuff, yet at the time. But I don't really remember anything special.
Yeah, the Rippets, you could find them at the 99-cent store. That's how.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's not good. This is terrible. Terrible.
Here we go. Kurt says the Air Force runs on hurt feelings. I believe that with all my heart. All right, my man. So you've got the that's a really cool thing that you're doing. We're kind of like in the planning phases of it. I know that you've reached out to people like Andrew from GoRX and some other people. So I'm interested and excited to see this project succeed because I think it's a good way to help tell some stories. We've already done some documentary stuff through Garage Gym Life, and I really want this project to work out. 5 years from now, it'd be awesome to be able to look back and say there's this documentary series that was made and it started based on this idea that you had, and I think it could be really inspiring to people too. So not just the people who are in it will benefit from it, but everybody who watches it after that. So I appreciate you coming on here. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you. I'll go ahead and I'll put this is your YouTube right there. What are the ways that people can reach out to you if they want to see more from you?
Yeah, so YouTube channel, Home Gym Tech Support. That's where I'm living. That's where I'm doing most of my work. So come find me there. If you have issues with putting fitness equipment together, I'm your dude. And if you want to design your garage gym, I'm your dude. Let's work together.
Nice. All right, my man. Thanks for being here. As always, thanks for supporting the channel.
Of course, guys. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. See you.
All right, man. And we'll see you next time. All right, that's my guy, Dennis Solis with Home Gym Tech Support and Home Fitness Works on Instagram. Make sure you guys check him out and follow him. You want to subscribe to him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram, subscribe to him on YouTube, and he's really good about answering questions. So if you have any random question regarding putting together some piece of equipment, even if you've put together a lot of stuff and then you just find that you've run into something that kind of is giving you the blues, is a little bit tougher than you anticipated, then you find that Dennis will probably, just hit him up and he'll probably be able to help you out and kind of like workshop through it. So he's a good resource, and I use him myself. So coming up in the next 10 minutes, coming up in the next 10 minutes, my guy David Dennis from Gorilla Strength is going to be joining the program. We're going to be talking about not only why you shouldn't buy budget barbells from Amazon, but we're also going to talk a little bit about why structural steel is so important in terms of your power racks. And then other random questions you guys might have about fabricating equipment or anything else like that. David is an excellent resource, been in the metal fabrication game for quite some time, and I am excited to talk to him again. He's also another resource that I use quite a bit. I call David all the time whenever I have a question about, something, especially if I'm reviewing a product and I have a question about it. I'm like, I'm not too sure about this or that thing. Even if, it's not something that he makes, he's still willing to spend the time to talk to me. So I'm looking forward to having him on here and letting you guys kind of pick his brain a little bit. But we already showed a little bit of this because you guys already saw this once because of Dennis and his experience. But now it's time for me to tell you why I'm mad. Let's go.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
All right, I'm not happy, but I can't be as mad as I normally would be, but I'm going to be kind of mad. All right, so today's recliner of rage is dedicated to the Iron Surge pull-up bar. All right, the reason why I said I can't completely blame them is because I feel like I may have had, part of this may have been my fault. So here's what happened. So earlier this week, my daughter comes in the gym and she said she wanted to use the Iron Surge pull-up bar. And she is the main reason why I got the thing, right? Because my power rack already has a pull-up bar. So why would I need a portable pull-up bar? And I have a review of it on my YouTube channel. So, but the reason why my daughter uses it is because she's not tall enough to reach the pull-up bar on the power rack yet. So I said, all right, she's doing gymnastics for a while and she enjoys doing that kind of stuff. So I said, all right, cool, we'll get it. So she says she wanted to use it. So I put it on there and I extended it out. I got a Marcy 9805 power rack downstairs right now. And so I set it in there, extended it out, and I thought I had extended it far enough. It felt like it was locked in, that it was tight. Thing wasn't going anywhere. I pulled it with my weight, felt like it was fine. All right. Then I had to come upstairs so that I could finish editing a video because I had a deadline. My wife was downstairs with her. So like so my daughter's in the gym. My wife is in the office right next door to the gym, right? Anyway, my daughter fell. And so I hear her scream, right? And I take off. There's stuff. I'm in here. I go from here where I'm sitting to downstairs in it took me like a minute to get down there, right? And what happened is, it looks like what happened is basically the pull-up bar retracted a little bit. And when it retracted, there wasn't enough tension. And so she fell. So reason why I'm mad at Iron Surge is because I think that there should be a locking mechanism. So if you're an adult and you're using it, you're not going to do anything to unlock it, right? But I think there should be a locking mechanism. So if a kid uses it, they can't do anything to retract it. So I'm taking part of the blame because, yes, because I walked away, but I'm still blaming them because I feel like they should have a locking mechanism to stop the thing from retracting at all. And I'm sticking with that. I'm not saying if you're an adult and you happen to want this thing that it won't work, because like I said, you guys can see in the thumbnail, I actually am standing on it. So I know that it can hold my weight. All right. But I think what happened is that she had to have done something to activate the retraction mechanism, and so to me there should be a safety feature to stop it from retracting if you don't want to like basically you should have to retract it on purpose, all right, as opposed to accidentally being able to retract it. And that is why I am upset, because I'm telling you, I heard her scream, and there's all kind of furniture got moved to get out of my way to run downstairs to make sure she's fine. I'll say that she's fine. She didn't fall from far either. I mean, she was like maybe 3 feet off the ground. She was more scared than anything else. But I don't care. The fact of the matter is, there should be something to stop the bar from retracting. Because all you got to do is you extend it by doing the by rolling it away from you, and then if you wind it back towards you, that retracts it. So I can see how a kid on it, they're moving their hands around different ways, playing on it. They can very easily retract it without meaning to. So the Recliner of Rage is sponsored by Freedom Fitness Equipment. It's the only place to get Garage from Life banners, as we mentioned earlier. And you don't have to be in the Recliner of Rage if you get my guy Ashton to hook you up. But I want to show you guys what you're getting about these if you grab one of these banners that I keep on bringing up. So check it out. Garage and Life banners.
Hey, if you want to support our channel, plus grab the perfect finishing touch for your home gym, go ahead and grab one of our 16-ounce laminated vinyl banners. They are easy to hang and easy to clean with just soap and water, and a great way to show that you represent the Garage Gym lifestyle. So head over to our friends at freedomfitnessequipment.com and order yours today.
All right, so there you go. So you can grab a banner from him. We've got there are banners that have been in people's homes outdoors since like 2018, 2019, and they look as good as they did when they first bought them. All right, so I stand behind the quality of these banners. You will not be you will be satisfied. You will not be upset if you get these things. If you get a Garage from Life banner, all you gotta do is hit up Ashton at freedomfitnessequipment.com. You can give him a call, 980-216-4860. He'll not only sell you one of our high quality banners, but he'll also work with you to get any other equipment that you might need for your home gym to help you build the best gym in town right there in your house. All right, and now it is 7:57. Let's see here. It's 7:57, and we are getting ready to give a shout out to the Mountain Time Zone, and then we'll be joined by my guy David from Gorilla Strength right after that. David is already backstage. He's ready to go. He's antsy. I see him. He's shaking up stuff. I didn't know if that was a paint can or what, but then he drank from it. So, okay, hopefully it's not paint. All right, it's water. All right, that's good. So like I said, you do not, guys, start getting your questions together. If you have any questions about specific products that David makes, go ahead and make sure that you drop them in the live chat. And also, he's going to be talking about, he's going to show you guys, David has cut open barbell sleeves and shown what it looks like inside these cheap barbells. So, make sure that if you've never seen this, we're going to be talking about why you don't need to buy cheap barbells. And then also, we're going to talk about structural steel, and then whatever else comes up, because our conversations always run off on a tangent, but they're always entertaining. So I know you guys are going to enjoy that. That's going to be coming up within the next couple of minutes. There is something I wanted to, I wasn't able to do. Make sure I don't miss it right here. All right. After David is done, we're going to finish up with we've got one more news item. So after my interview with David, we're going to finish up with our final news item. And then I'm going to talk about some of the most interesting videos that I've seen on YouTube. That's going to be coming up at the 8:45 mark, unless we run a little bit long, in which case it'll come up at the 9 o'clock hour, right after we do our shout out to the West Coast. So I'll tell you what the most interesting videos that I've seen on YouTube are. That way you guys can go check them out. And we're going to talk about the PRX Performance Leg Curl Leg Extension. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but apparently PRX has come out with their own leg curl leg extension. So we're going to talk about that. But now it is 8 a.m. here. So that means it is time to give a shout out and a good morning to the Mountain Time Zone. It is 6 o'clock for you guys. So welcome and thanks for joining the Way Too Early for Friday morning show. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if this is your first time here. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers. I need help from each and every one of you to do it. If you've already subscribed, do me a favor and share the content from this channel, either this video or one of my other videos. Share it with somebody who you know would enjoy watching it, somebody who's into home gym content, somebody who just enjoys entertainment, somebody who's looking for something to watch on in the mornings while they're on the treadmill or whatever. Share this content. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers. I can't get there without each one of you guys helping me to get there. Also, let's see here. We have a number of people in the live chat. Let me see here who's joined. My guy, Dennis Solis, who I just interviewed. Make sure that you guys go back if you're watching, hit that rewind if you just joined, and check out my interview with Dennis. He gives some tips about how to keep your home gym cool, especially if it's a garage gym. And he kind of impressed me because he showed that he put together a piece of equipment without instructions. It's pretty substantial piece of equipment he put together without instructions. And he's got some tips for you if you find yourself in a situation where you get your equipment in, you don't have a instruction manual, so it'll kind of keep you out of trouble with that. All right. But now let's go ahead and let's bring on my second and final guest of the day, my guy, David Dennis. If you're not a fan yet, but you're about to be. David, welcome to my humble home.
How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Well, it's a little bit earlier than I get started, but that's okay because I stayed up late to make up for it.
I'm about to say, normally, so it's 8 o'clock here, so it's 7 o'clock for you.
Yeah.
So you would have been, so normally, based upon the conversations we've had, you would normally have been asleep for like 3 hours at this time.
Yeah, I usually work late because it's easier to get stuff done when everybody else is sleeping. So you don't get as many phone calls, you don't get as many texts because I end up, I'd say a good 30% of my time during the day is responding to customers.
Is that that's primarily how people reach out to you if they want to order something, right?
They go through the website and Amazon. We sell on Amazon and through the website, but primarily for anything custom or anything that's I like to go back and forth with customers because a lot of times they'll want something and they won't know exactly what it is. And that's one of the great services that some of the YouTube content people are bringing is they let people know what they actually is out there and what they may want. So a conversation yesterday with someone, they were talking about axle bars and things of that nature. And really what they wanted most was some thick grip dumbbells because a lot of the movements they were doing, but they had no idea that you could actually buy thick grip dumbbells, So that was, for their particular case, that ended up working out better.
So they came to you and thought they wanted an axle bar, but it turned out that what they really needed was a thick handle dumbbell. Okay.
Yeah. It's underselling a customer, I guess, because the axle bars are more expensive. Profit's a little bit better, but ultimately the customer, I would much rather see somebody get what they want and need as opposed to get something they kind of want to have but really didn't need and get into it and probably may not help them as much as something else.
All right, so just in case anybody's not familiar with you, let's just do a quick rundown of some of the products that you have in your. I know that's a lot. All right, so we're not going to try to talk about all the custom stuff that you made, but let's talk about some of the products that you've made. For example, you make the wheelbarrows for Strongman Corporation, right? All right. What are some other products that you've made that people may not know about?
Our number one selling machine is like our grip machine. It's a guillotine style grip machine, and it's something that I first made whenever I was about 13 years old. So if you've ever watched, a lot of people aren't into grip, and that absolutely blows my mind because literally your grip is your interface with anything you're going to lift. So bar doing something like a squat, you're going to use your hands to lift whatever it is. Any sport that you use, minus soccer, you're using your hands to interact with a bat, with a golf club, grappling. Yeah. So our grip machine, it is,
I can pull up a picture of it.
yeah, if
You
you
talking
can.
about your grip trainer? Yeah, I'll do that. Hang on a second right here. This what you're talking about?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
So I built the first one of those whenever I was 13 years old. And this is I built one. I'd listened to Bruce Lee interview, a radio interview he had given. Huge Bruce Lee fan.
Yeah.
And he was describing how he trained grip.
Right.
And he was
He
describing
had one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I called it the Bruce Lee grip machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I first started building those, and started putting them online, I referred to them as a Bruce Lee style grip machine. And somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, I mean, maybe you shouldn't do that since, there's royalties and things involved." So we now call them the Gorilla Grip Trainer. I never meant to spin off.
No. Yeah, I got you.
But
it's just what people know it as. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it wasn't until about 5 years ago I actually seen a picture of the one that he was referring to. So in the interview that I heard whenever I was 13 years old and built my early versions of, I finally got to see the one that he was talking about in the interview 5 years ago. And it's crazy because my early grip machines looked a lot more similar to it. But as the grip machines evolved, it become a lot better version. So his early grip machine was something like 14 inches tall. So to use it, he had to bend down on the ground or bend over the machine, and in a very uncomfortable position. And the weight that it held was something, I think, 160 pounds total. So compared to what people do on grip machines today, 160 pounds is a lot, but that's not. We've got people that use over 400 pounds on our grip machines, and they're rated up to 450. So, and you can stand up and comfortably use them from a standing position. So that's, not knocking his grip machines. Absolutely wonderful idea. But compared to what the product that I make today, we went through 5 generations of it. So every generation we added something that made it a little bit more useful.
The big thing for me that I noticed with yours that the Bruce Lee version wouldn't have had, because they didn't have those kind of plates at the time.
Yeah.
They had standard plates.
Yep.
Yours accommodates 45-pound plates, 45-pound Olympic type style plates, and a lot of the ones that are on the market that you can get from different places, they're too narrow. So the biggest plate you can put in there is like the one that I have is too narrow. The biggest plate you can put in there is a 35. Mm-hmm. So that may be okay for some people, but in the picture I just had up, it showed somebody with 310 pounds loaded on this grip machine. So, I figure, especially for somebody who wants to like certify on like the Captains of Crush or something, even if they don't, which is a legitimate thing. You can, like arm lifting is a sport. So, if you just want to develop yourself a grip sport or whatever, or a lot of people who do like arm wrestling. So I would say that you would want to be able to train with as much weight as possible, because you don't want to become stronger than your equipment. So it sounds to me like that would be a good thing. Matt Welch, he's in the UK. He said everyone needs a Thomas inch dumbbell. So you've got some, I don't know if you've got handles as thick as the inch dumbbell, but you do have a number of different kinds of thick handle dumbbells. So what are the reasons, like the differences between the different handles you have? I know you got one that doesn't have knurling. I'm going to pull this one up right here. This is this is the one that you've got that doesn't have any knurling on it. Comes with the collar. All right. So what's the difference between this one and some of your other thick handle dumbbells?
Well, I'll make a variety of them. A lot of it is how much it opens your palm up. Uh, I first started getting into those from rock climbers. So there's people that climb rocks and they'll do it with not having a straight grip on the rock, but they'll basically palm the rock. It's you know, I love watching people free climb, just free climb, surface climb mountains, and just it absolutely amazes me. And whenever you're developing the type of grip that it takes to do some activities, all right, let me stick with the rock climbing. You've got bands that wrap around your tendons, okay? And you have to strengthen the band that wraps around the tendon of the finger in order to articulate your fingers. Now, with rock climbers, the main thing that fails whenever their grip fails is they'll actually tear this ligament across through here. So you've got your tendon runs up into your finger. There's not actually muscle here in this. It's a ligament runs up. You've got the bands that runs across here that makes this finger articulate that way. So some of the thicker dumbbells, it's kind of like doing an isometric and strengthening. You strengthen your grip as well, but it helps strengthen the ligaments in your fingers by using a larger dumbbell, or they make other wider type of attachments and things that can do that as well. But I like the dumbbell because you're having to use your hand to balance the weight as well a little bit. And if you've ever, some people can relate to this and other people probably have never run onto someone like this. But I've run into a lot of people in the grip strength sports community, and the pads and the ligaments on their fingers in these sections here are insanely thick. You'll look at their hand and there'll be bulges where their pad and the ligament has got so much thicker than the normal person's hand. And if you ever shake someone's hand that way, I don't care if you're a CEO or whatever you are, you walk into meet someone and you shake someone's hand, you're automatically given an impression of who that person is. Just like your hands are what you react with weight. Whenever you meet someone in a business professional type of a scenario, a lot of times a good handshake goes a long way. And somebody definitely, if you ever run onto somebody that trains grip and trains it well, and you shake their hand, it doesn't mean they're going to squeeze your hand off, but you can tell that this is it gives you a different respect for the person automatically without them ever saying anything. And it's just one of the laws of human nature. I think we've developed that over years. So, bit of a tangent, but
no, that's what we came here for. Especially the part where you're talking about, that's the thing I like about the way you design stuff, because you understand the anatomy of like the human body. So you're not just that's why I say when somebody calls you about some custom piece of equipment, because you understand the anatomy of the human body and how it works, both from your background in MMA and from just, the grip stuff. It's easier for you to design something for them and even giving them advice about what they need, because you're like, well, okay, actually, maybe because of this, you might not need this or whatever, right? The other thing, I don't want to forget this. Eric Eccles said that he's got an amazing inch dumbbell trainer from Holly, and he said it's amazing. You don't have inch dumbbell trainers, but you do have a number of other implements. Like you've got, with your thick handle dumbbells, you've got the Knurled thick handle. So why did you? I understand the rationale behind the smooth handle dumbbell, the one that I showed earlier. What made you start doing the knurled handle dumbbells? Is it because knurling was just popular, or what was it?
Well, one of the things I never anticipated with that product is people wanting to do more dynamic movement.
Mm,
So, you know, I've got people that use those dumbbells more as hammer curls. So if you're going to use a dumbbell for hammer curls, it's a little bit easier to have traction on it with the knurling. And people will use them for doing just like a snatch type movement. And while you can do it with smooth things, uh, I never, I can never fully anticipate how people use stuff. Uh, Prime example is like chain collars. I've had so many people send me pictures and uh, videos and things about how they use chain collars. Blows my mind. Uh, so the chain collar is just a collar that goes on. It's a weight collar. It's got a loop on it, and you can design something. There's a lot of people that are do-it-yourselfers, which I really like the do-it-yourself community, as long as you don't do something that's going to injure you or kill you or someone else. So the thick grip dumbbells, I guess part of it was that, yeah, those are the chain collars. Man, I've seen some of the crazier things I've seen with those is I seen a guy have a golf simulator.
what?
And I'm like, yeah, yeah, a golf simulator. Never thought about that. He took one of the a club, put that on the end of it, hung a strap from the ceiling, so the weight hung down, and he had a handle. And as he was practicing his follow through on his golf by having to lift up the weight, and
Uh-huh.
it was being hung from the ceiling by the chain. It's like crazy things. But I mean, I experimented with it with a barbell, and it kind of, I saw a lot of utility that someone could use in that way. So they took the chain collar, or this is how I was experimenting with it. Uh, hung a strap down. So you got a strap comes down. You've got weight on the bottom end of it, and you're holding the barbell, and you're using your body to articulate the weight back and forth. And it gave a really nice twisting. I mean, if you're wanting to
So kind of
work
like wood chops, like a reverse wood chop almost.
yeah, like a reverse wood chop.
Okay.
And you could alter the height of the weight by using a strap, an adjustable strap. And it's like, this is, I could actually get into this. But you know, all kinds of chain yokes. They use them for chain yokes. Uh, I don't know if for anybody that's never done a chain yoke is one of the most difficult things that I think a person can do. Uh, a chain yoke is, if you're familiar with a yoke walk, so you've got the barbell across your shoulders, and you're doing you've got weight hanging down from the side, and you're walking. So it's you see that exercise in strongman. Like a lot of the strongman competitions have those. A chain yoke is two of those chain collars attached to chains and attached to swinging weights. So they use these load pins. So it's a pin like this with a loop in it. So those are swinging at the end of a chain. And as you move, that weight, again, it starts to swing. So you have to counter it with your core. Extremely hard to do. Um, but I see people do that with those chain collars a lot. And that is one of the exercises that whenever I'm wanting to focus, I always do it lighter. But whenever I'm wanting to focus on core stability uh, and core control, that's one of my go-to exercises, because you can do that particular exercise with lighter weight. You don't have to go extremely heavy. And with lighter weight, you have to get in touch with your core, your balance, and your motion in order to manage that weight, because it does want to move and you have to counter it. So that's another one of those creative ways that people use the chain collars. Whenever I initially designed them, never thought about that.
Nice. All right, so we've got some of your contact information going across the bottom here. Right, go ahead, check out GorillaStrengthEquipment.us. David's got a bunch of stuff on there, and I know I want to get to what we were saying, talking about the barbell sleeve thing, because that blew my mind when you first showed it to me.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but I want to show a couple of other products that you were the first person that I know of who created them, and it's the Rhino Lever Curl Bar. That was the one that when I saw that you had made that, that actually led to me asking you to make the adjustable tip bar. So let's show everybody what this Rhino Lever Curl Bar is, and I want you to kind of talk through like what the idea behind it is, because it like I don't know if people have seen anything like this, but what's the advantage of having a curl bar that's designed like this?
Most people that lift weights have probably seen the horrific video of the guy online curling and he has a double bicep tear. So if you've not seen the video, I would not watch it because it's pretty gnarly. But whenever your arms are fully elongated, your biceps particularly, they're at a huge mechanical disadvantage to the weight. Your elbows come straight out, your bicep connects until you have a break of this angle. Your bicep it's at its weakest possible point and its most vulnerable point. So the best way that you can do something if you're designing any type of a machine is you need to make sure what they call the stress curve or the load curve whenever you're lifting something matches the strength curve of whatever machine that you're working with. So in the case of curling, whenever your arm is fully extended, this is the weakest and most vulnerable part, and you don't want to have the same amount of weight whenever your arm is here as you do whenever your bicep is closer to your body. So with that Rhino curl bar, what it does is it matches whenever your arms are fully extended, you have very little weight on that bar. And it actually takes about 15 pounds to balance it at the bottom end to have weight on your bicep. So as you curl, it goes from a 0 to 2.5 pound or 2.5 times whatever the weight is on the end. So by the time you get up here, whenever you've got 30 pounds on there, you're really at about 75. So
Nice.
go from 0 to top where you're the absolute strongest at about 75. In addition to that, if you look at the connection points of your bicep where they're connected to on your shoulder, you actually can flex, and some people can try this at home if they want. You can flex your bicep and then move your arm up and you'll feel the contraction get stronger. So that bar, whenever you curl and then lift it up to finish that final rep. And that gives you it gives you a tighter contraction at the top because this is pulling away from you. So whenever you get to the top, it's not pushing down like a typical bar. So if I had a regular barbell in my arms, whenever I get to here, most of the load is just driving down. It's not against my bicep anymore. On this bar, whenever you get to the top, you've got most of the load going straight out. So it's a bar that I've had bicep injuries before, and that's what actually prompted me to design that bar. Is I wanted to get back to curling and training biceps, but I didn't want to injure myself. So I got back into training with that bar way quicker than I could have if I was just using a traditional dumbbell.
Okay.
let's see, there was one other thing that I really liked about that prompted the design of that bar. Um,
While you're thinking about that, we have a question for you.
yeah,
Jared
what's up?
Martin. Jared wants to know what your training because you mentioned your training, getting back into the
Yeah.
training with that bar. He said he wants to know what your training looks like these days, and he also wants to know how much of your business is non-lifting related equipment requests.
Uh, First, my training these days. All right, so I talked to John about this earlier. So I had a little bit of a scare about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, maybe 5. So I'm typically have a lot of stress, and that comes from just the type of life I lead because it's pretty stressful. So I had an optometrist visit, and during that optometrist visit, he said, you've got some hemorrhaging in your eyes. So I'm like, really? So I went home and I took my blood pressure. It was 200 over 118. That's like Strokeville. So in the last 3 weeks, I've changed my training up a lot. I was primarily, and I've changed my diet up a lot. So I was primarily before focusing more. I wasn't I wasn't trying to be athletic, and through most of my life, I focused on athleticism. Uh, more uh, more things that you would think of where you're doing pull-ups, push-ups, using weight to supplement having good athletic body movement.
Well, I
But
mean, you were fighting MMA.
yeah, and whenever you're grappling, whenever you're boxing, whenever you're doing, how much somebody bench presses. If somebody knows what they're doing, you're not bench pressing them off of you. You know what I
No,
mean? So,
that's irrelevant. Actually, you can use their strength against them. Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, the more they push, the more they give an arm.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
focus more on athleticism. But here in the last 4 years since COVID, uh, I stopped actively training, for mixed martial arts and jujitsu competitions, stuff like that. Whenever COVID hit, so I've been focusing more on strength and not really paying as much attention to my diet. So within 3 weeks, I've got I was watching my blood pressure for like 3 days, and like, no, we're trending constantly over 180. And then, I mean, it's like, this isn't good. So changed my diet up. There's a guy named Gary Brecka. He's worked with Dana White. He's worked with a lot of people. And I know some people that he's worked with. And I talked to them and they're like, no, this guy's pretty legit. So I started following his protocol. And it's like not paid endorsement or anything like this. But I started following his protocol. And I've dropped 17 pounds in 3 weeks, which is a lot, but I was carrying a lot more weight than I needed. And some of that was water weight as well. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. But my strength is went up quite a bit too. But right now, my workout mainly, I walk uh, in the morning, very first thing, 30 minutes straight up walk. Uh, then do push-ups I do sets of 100. So I'll do 100 low push-ups and then I'll do 100 higher push-ups. So I'm doing more quantity than heavier weight, and I touch heavy weight once a week. So I'll touch I'll touch a heavy deadlift, a heavy bench, heavy squat uh, once a week, but primarily I'm focusing on being more athletic and focusing on things like the chain walk, where that uh, I'm trying to tighten everything up because I'm getting ready to turn 49, and you get into your 40s, and for me anyway, I'm like, I want to be more athletic. I don't care if I can move a car. I want to be able to be around for my kids. And I think that you do that best whenever you remain agile and lean. So I'm cutting my body weight down a little bit, and that's kind of where I'm at with my workout journey. And I've been working out since I was 13 years old. And one of the things that I've noticed is, for me personally, I have to enjoy my workout. So I have to program whatever workout I am doing. I have to program it, because if you're not programming it, you're just doing random crap. And that usually don't work.
Yeah.
But I have to program my workout around my enjoyment. So I have to enjoy what I'm doing. Conversely, I've got a friend that's got his workouts planned for the next, I'm thinking it's almost 3 years. He's got an
Yeah, I don't know
Excel
that.
sheet with exactly what he's going to be doing
Yeah, I
for
ain't
like
doing
the
that.
next 3 years.
I mean, if I'm training to compete in a specific event, then I don't mind, like planning the training sessions leading up to it. But
Yeah.
even then, man, I can't, like that, like the West Side Barbell guys, they would have like everything planned out as, okay,
Yeah.
when I get to, so exactly what you're supposed to do. I get that. But that's a bit, I can't, I go
Well,
crazy.
he altered it a little bit because he had some meets coming up that wasn't scheduled, so he was wanting to peak at those particular meets. And I used to not think that it was as big of a deal as what it is, because I used to think that, and this is how much the game has changed with working out. I used to believe that you take a week off, you're going to be healed, and then you go in, if you're fighting, if you're doing a weight meet or whatever. But you truly can, you truly can take a 3-month program and peak really close to the day that you think you can, as far as like not maxing your weight, doing not to failure. Because I used to work out, everything was to failure.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the way it was done. But the body actually responds better whenever you don't do that way, because you have to have the active recovery. You have to, so many smarter ways to work out now than what there used to be. And that's where programming comes in. Because if I listen to my body, I'm still programmed to work to failure. It's like, I want to do it on every set, every rep, every time. But that is not the most productive way.
That's kind of how you get that blood pressure too, because that's how you are with work.
Everything
is straightforward all the way. Like, Jared says that you probably get a grip workout every day just fabricating. Go ahead, show. I'm gonna give you the big screen. Show everybody what your forearms look like.
Oh, my forearms, they're not anything like they used to be, but they're
still, that's primarily from running the grinder.
Yeah.
Right? That's from running the grinder. All right. So the other part of Jared's question though is like, how much non-business lifting equipment do you make?
Oh,
non-lifting equipment do you make for your business?
Well, so I used to design different types of things for the automotive industry, and I still get called to do that once in a while. And there's a few other businesses that I've worked with doing different design and fabrication things. And some of those businesses, they really need someone that can do something, and they pay pretty well. And I'd say probably 20%, because if all right, I had a guy come to me a while back that I used to work with, and he needed a specific part made for a machine, and I had made that part before. So in where we're at right now with people, and I'm going to call myself a craftsman. I don't think I'm of myself as much of a craftsman as I do just a problem solver. But anyone that has a craft or a trade or a skill, they usually get to pick and choose what they want to do. And I was working on plumbing the other day. Okay. Had this big plumbing pipe, this 4-inch main pipe stopped up. I'm sitting here with a snake, a thing goes in the pipe, trying to clean it out, literally getting covered in poop. The wife says, "Why don't you call somebody to do that?" Well, the truth of the matter is, plumbers aren't going to come dig that out because they've got other work they can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you've got to choose, am I going to lay in whatever, or am I going to go work on this new house? They'll just choose to work on the new house. There's no necessity for them to come and do that. And I told her, I said, if I could get somebody to come out here, it's not going to be today. And it may not be ever, because sometimes you call them and they just don't call you back.
Yeah.
And it's like that in the fabrication industry if you're good at what you do. And that's the situation I run into with a lot of people. And I like being able to solve somebody's problems if I have the ability to do it. And that's the way this guy comes in. He's like, "Hey man, I've called 4 or 5 shops. They won't call me back." And you know, I do a lot of what I do is that way. And it breaks up the fitness equipment is fun, but there's a lot of you are more into manufacturing than you are being a tradesman or a craftsman. So at some point, if you're doing the same thing every day, it just,
Gets monotonous.
yeah, it is. And that's why I do custom work, is because I like to break up the monotony of what I'm building.
Okay.
Well, it's the entrepreneur's dream, I think. There's this scenario that plays out with most people that start a business. They will start out their business into an area that they enjoy. So, like, I'll just use my business, building equipment. I enjoy building equipment. So I thought, well, I'm going to build equipment that other people can use. Okay. So you do that, and then you quickly realize that you're a craftsman up until the point that you have to become something else. Because even though, like me and my son, I got a couple other people that are really good at what they do, but if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you have to stop being the craftsman, the man in the welding hood, and you have to start running the business. And then whenever you start running the business, you end up finding out that your business will either fail or succeed, not based on your ability to be a craftsman, but based on your ability to learn how to do business. Because I don't care how good your product is, if you in fact are not delivering your products on time, you're probably not going to stay in business long. You know, you will have dedicated customers that will stay with you. If you can't negotiate prices for shipping, then your competitors who can negotiate prices on shipping. They're going to eat your lunch because they're going to be more profitable. It's the same with steel prices. If you can't negotiate, if you don't know what a good piece of steel is, that's a problem. If you can't negotiate with your steel suppliers, you know, proper terms and pricing, then your competitors are going to eat your lunch again. So you have to move and transition, and that's what's so stressful about what I was referring to stress. That's one of the main stressors of someone that starts out as a tradesman or a craftsman and then moves into trying to have a business that can support their family and grow. Is you have to learn all of the things that you really don't want to learn, but in order to be successful, you know, it's like the knife to your throat. You have to learn these things. Um, that's kind of the paradox of the thing about uh, being an entrepreneur. So whenever I get a custom piece in and I can allot time to make the custom piece, I absolutely love it, because that puts me back in touch with the primary reasons that I actually started building stuff to begin with. Still enjoy building things. Production stuff is what pays the bills, but the custom work is what keeps it enjoyable.
One of the other things that you like doing, and you guys can tell by the way by how he's talking that he enjoys educating people. So I'm not letting you get out of here without talking about structural steel
All right,
because
go for it.
yeah. So I remember I called you and we're talking about the game. So let me back up. I don't know when we had this conversation because I try to talk to you at least once a week. I don't know if you knew that, but I try to talk to you at least once a week. Sometimes I just call you and say, "Hey man, this is what's on my mind," or I just call to see what you're doing, or I know that you're up late at night and I know I'm kind of getting in the way and slowing you down, but I'm also trying to keep you company a little bit too. And so I'm not sure when this conversation occurred, but I know we were talking about a power rack, and I was talking about the gauge of steel of the power rack. And the reason why I don't remember the conversation when it happened is because I was driving, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this rack, I'm doing it. And they claim that it's 14 gauge steel, but man, I think it might be 16 gauge because it just feels kind of flimsy. And you're like, well, is it structural steel? And I say, I didn't even think about that. So talk about why structural steel is so important when it comes to stuff like power racks. And tell Kai, if that's Kai, you tell him to be quiet.
Yeah, Kai, be quiet back there. He saw I was still doing this and he left. So Kai's my son. He whenever
don't go up there, he'll try to sell you stuff.
Yes, he will.
Kai's trying to sell me the stuff out of his pockets last time. I was like, come on, man, I got things to do. Anyway, but go ahead. So talk about structural steel.
All right. So there's different classifications of steel, and what typically I deal with is what's called A36, A500, A513. And those are steels that have a uniform and known mechanical property. Okay. So a mechanical property defines how the steel will react under stress, strain, and temperature. And structural steel is used in structures because it conforms to certain guidelines and is predictable in nature. So if you're building a skyscraper and you are going to use a certain size steel, you need to know that that steel is going to perform within a parameter. And structural steel is highly, in the US, it's highly regulated. So there is, let's say the A36, okay? That is a structural steel that gets its classification from the American Society for Testing and Material. And what
ASTM.
Yes.
All right. See,
And
that feels smart because I knew that. Go ahead.
well, all right, I'm gonna bounce a little bit back and forth because I always do.
Okay.
So whenever we were talking about that rack, my first thought was if you look at the ASTM, the first word in that is American. So that is an American standard. So a rack could be made out of A36, would be a decent choice. But if you go overseas to somewhere else, they don't have the same standard. So I'll give you for instance, A500 would probably be an equivalent that you'd see a lot of racks out of. A36 would work. A500 would be a little bit more. The difference between A36 and A500 is A500 has a truer dimension. So if you're doing a 3x3 rack, A500 should be more dimensionally stable and solid through the whole piece. So it should be 3x3. A36 will vary a little bit more. So you may see racks that are really close to fitting some attachments, and some they do and some they don't. That potentially could be A36. So if you go overseas and you're getting a rack from probably China, because that's who makes most of the stuff. Their closest equivalent to A500 is something called Q355. So Q355 is most similar to A500, but it's not. So A500 has a classification of grade A, B, and C. So if you was to compare the Chinese version, and whenever I say Chinese, what I'm saying is their testing standard, okay? Their comparable testing standard to a piece of A500 grade A steel is, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Q533 or Q355. That's what it is. It is equivalent to a grade C of the A500 steel.
So let me stop you right there.
All right.
So somebody could say that this is 14 gauge steel, but it's Q355, and it's not going to be as strong as 14 gauge A500 steel. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and the reason why that it would be different, I'll give you a for instance. So A500 steel grade A is 64,000 psi. Grade B is 40. Grade B is like 50,000 psi. Grade C is like 46,000 psi. So if you look at the difference between 58,000 psi and 46,000 psi, that's the difference of the steel. So, I mean, there's a decent percentage, of difference in the strength of that steel. But that would be their equivalent to an A500 piece of steel that you have from an American supplier. And people don't understand one of the things I say, most people that don't work in this type of industry and really focus on what they're getting, they don't understand that American steel on the global market is considered to be some of the best steel. America still produces what most countries consider to be some of the premium steel on the market. And that's due to our testing standards that we use and how we grade our metal.
Okay.
So
You
go ahead.
know, I mean, that makes sense because like you get some of the cheaper like the lower tier racks, for example, and you'll see like as you're tightening the bolt down, the metal is dimpling, and all you're doing is not screwing, but you know what I mean, you're tightening a bolt, right? So when I'm tightening a bolt and I feel that the pressure from me tightening the bolt just with a ratchet is deforming the metal, I don't feel as comfortable because I'm like, well, what's going to happen when I drop something on the spotter arms or the safety bars of this rack? Because everybody, if you guys haven't seen the video where Gluck drops a loaded barbell, loaded up to the rating for this rack that he got off of Amazon, the entire thing folds on him because it's not able to handle the shear, not the shear force, but the force of the impact force of the barbell dropping. And then you've also talked to me about how it's not necessarily even before that even happens, you might have problems with the shear force of the bolt not being able to handle the barbell dropping onto it because it's not made to the standard.
You get what's called punch through, and Eric was talking about a spectrometer. And for the nerd heads out there that want to know, you take A500 steel and the Q355. So could be wrong. Pretty sure that I've got this. So as you raise carbon content in steel, then it increases. And I'm pretty sure that the Chinese version of A500 has manganese and copper and lower carbon content. So overall, that's what makes it a softer, more gummy metal. And that's where you're going to start pulling in the punch through. So a punch through is whenever you have a bolt and you start, let's say I've got a wall here and I've got a bolt going through it. As I start to tighten that bolt down, the wall starts deforming. And then whenever that bolt goes all the way through, that's called punch through. It's punched through that piece of steel. And whenever you've got something that's a lower carbon content, then you're starting to have a metal that's softer and it's more susceptible to things like punch through. But the machine he was talking about, yeah, you can analyze what the actual composition of steel is. And that's another like huge area. I worked in a testing lab at one time where that it was for a company called MTD. So they made lawnmower parts, and we would test all of the parts that would come in, and the overseas parts, a lot of times they were not standardized. So the metal that was being used was not the same every time, which whenever you change mechanical properties on steel, you need to design based off of what you need knowns. Anytime that you're dealing with anything, you need a set of standards that is known. I know this is going to perform this way. And you start changing the types of steel and the composition of the steel, and all of a sudden you're entering in unknown qualities into areas that's supposed to be known, and then you don't know. So I'll break that down in what we had determined at that time, that it was just the manufacturing process of the steel, that they didn't have the capability to run consistent steel the way that we do in the US. Because if you look at Andrew Carnegie, if you go down that whole thing, and he basically built the whole steel empire of the world. I think they were like a 90% producer of the world's steel for a long time.
Yeah.
And we still have a lot of that capability. Steel is like chocolate. I don't know if you've ever ate chocolate from some places, but they don't know how to make chocolate as well as Hershey's does. So, all right.
So Eric said they make gears for Caterpillar and John Deere and Allison.
Oh, yeah.
And they outsource in India, so they got the spectrometer to make sure that what they were getting is what they were supposed to be getting. Shout out to my guy Travis Vincent. Yeah, you late to the party, but we're glad you're here, Travis. I know you're probably putting together. Travis does home gym equipment. Well, he does gym equipment installations. So he's probably played with some companies that you're familiar with. All right. I want to talk about something else. And if you guys want David to come back to talk to you guys more, or to break down more stuff about steel, or he's got a YouTube channel. So if you want him to break down a video, because I think it's fascinating, especially for what I do. If you're a content creator watching this and you would like for David to go through talking about the qualities of steel and stuff like that, that would educate you and help you when you're doing your reviews, put a comment in, whether you're watching on replay or here on YouTube, or if you're watching live on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Put in a chat, and so we'll know that this is something that you want to see, and then he'll make the video, because he doesn't mind doing it. But before you go, let's take a few minutes, and even if we run over a little bit, I still want to do this. Grab that sleeve, that barbell sleeve that you cut open. Because
I thought, I don't have it. I don't think I've got it. I looked for it. I thought you had pictures of it. Let me see.
No, I didn't. I don't have the pictures anymore. So I'll just give people some background. So I was up at David's, and he had a barbell that, did you get it from like Amazon?
Yeah.
And so you just bought one of those barbells from Amazon, just some random barbell. You cut it open, and let's just go ahead and describe what it was that you saw. Well, actually, you know what? I think that we have it in a video. It might have been the video where we were talking about where you made the 45-pound knurled axle for me. So I think show that. So everybody, I'll put the link to that video in the description for this one. You guys can go check out that video, and it'll show you what it looks like on the inside of a sleeve. But go ahead and describe to the people what the problem was you found when you cut open a cheap barbell from Amazon?
Oh wow. So they're cast steel, okay? So in the casting process, how your mold is made determines the wall thicknesses of your end product. So this sleeve, and both of them was the same way, is they were round, but the wall thickness on one side was a half inch and the other side was something like a quarter inch. So you've got, even though it looks cylindrical on the outside, on the inside of it, you've got one wall that's like twice as thick as the other wall. Now, I ended up weighing both of the sleeves on that bar, and there was almost 2 pounds difference on the load sleeves on on that bar. So I think most people have accidentally put a 10 on in place of a 5, or 5 on in place of a 10, or took one weight off and not the other side. You know that it doesn't feel right. You can't do as much weight whenever you've got more weight on one side than you do the other side. And some of these cheap barbells are that way. They're not balanced. The sleeves on the end aren't consistently made. The weight's not going to move the same because the load sleeve is heavier on one side. And that just has to do with mass produced castings. Anytime that you're casting something, the quality of the end product depends on a few factors, but one of the huge factor is how well you do your castings. And doing castings at a mass level and doing good castings is incredibly hard. So, and you can see that in the huge disparity with just plates. So if you look at cast plates across the market, that's where you get plates that some of them are 50. I got plates that's 53 pounds that are supposed to be 45s. I've got 45-pound plates that run. I think the lightest one I've ever run onto has been like maybe 41. It's 4 pounds off. But a lot of that disparity is in the casting. Some of it's due to the steel itself, but it's not an easy process to turn out high quality castings.
So one of the things that the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because a lot of times people who are buying, if you're watching this and you're setting up a home gym for the first time, or you just like, okay, well, I want to get a new bar, and you look at this bar and it's 600, it costs $600. And then this bar, I think some of the Elicos, Elico barbells, they might be, it's easy to spend. Well, you can actually just go broke at Elico. All right. But you can literally just go broke over there. But so if I'm looking at their competitor bar, their weightlifting competitor bar, that's a little over $1,100. Okay. And then you've got a $200 bar. Maybe it's on Amazon, maybe it's somewhere else. You're like, well, why do I have to spend all this money on this bar? This one's $200. It does the same thing. Okay, these are that's why I wanted somebody who is in the industry to talk about it, because I can say all day, don't buy cheap barbells. But they're like, well, what do you know? People probably assume that I'm getting paid to direct them to this bar or that bar. But when you explain stuff like that, that's why when you first showed it to me, I was like, that's such a big deal, because somebody who doesn't know any better, they just say, oh, well, I'm saving some money because this bar is cheaper than this one. And they do the same thing, but they really don't. You know what I mean? So I don't care if I got to send you a bar. I'm going to send you a bar from Amazon because I want you to do another video. In fact, that's what we're going to get you to do, a video where you cut open another bar and we're just going to see what it looks like. That could be like a video series for you where all you're doing is just cutting bars open. Cut the sleeve of a bar open. We'll see what it looks like on the inside.
Well,
actually, that sounds pretty good. I've
got a setup where I can bend them and stuff. And listen, full disclosure, I don't sell barbells. Like I do not sell those. I will never sell those. And the reason I'll never sell them is because you've got too many companies out there that do a really good job at building barbells. Right. So
you make axle bars.
I make axle
bars and
whenever I say I don't make the traditional, I make axle bars. in the same person that's using an axle bar, they'll use it because it doesn't have whip. There's reasons that
Yeah,
people, will use those. But the barbells that the power, that's not something that I've got any interest in doing because there's too many. I typically try to stay out of places where there's people that's already doing something well, because if somebody is doing something well, you know what I mean, and they're an American company, I'm a little bit weird that way. You know, if I see another person out there that's trying to support their family, turning out a quality product and stuff like that, I'm staying away from that because I don't want to compete with that person. There's so much in the fitness world is so huge. You
yeah.
know, you don't have to copy other people. Go do your own thing. Be good at it and you'll be fine. So,
Man, that's probably one of the best ways uh to end right there because well, I mean, I know that you and I have talked offline about multiple
yeah.
times where people have copied your products.
Yeah.
Heck, they stole the name of your product a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the names of your products, and so
Mhm.
you know, I think it's
Yeah.
admirable that you can even laugh about it now, but it's like, it is what it is. Man, if somebody wants to buy something from you and you have some specific products that you and I have talked about that
Mhm.
I had like a small part in being the reason for why they were made. So like you've got the only 45-pound knurled axle bar. Yes, there's a 20-kilogram axle bar out there. There is a 65-pound knurled axle, I think, out there, and there's another one that might be a 30-pound. There's a 25-pound knurled axle. You have the only 45-pound knurled axle bar in the world. It's got the powerlifting markings and all that on it. You made it for me, and I've got the
Mhm.
video on my channel, and I love that thing because I get so much better tricep recruitment using
Mhm.
that bar. And then when I go to my regular barbell, it feels like it's nothing in my hands. I love that thing. I'm never going to stop loving it. But
Sweet.
if somebody wants to reach out to you um, and get one of your things, and actually we got a product question right here. Actually, let's just do this. Shout out to the West Coast. We're talking to my guy David Dennis from Gorilla Strength. Normally I would have cut most people off by this time and said, hey, we got to go into my next segment, but the fact is I actually didn't schedule a guest for the 9 o'clock hour because I wanted to be able to let this go long if we needed to. So we're going to go a little bit long just because I want to make sure that we get the information out there. And so Eric has a question. So Eric does grip training.
Mhm.
He competes in grip competitions and things like that. He's actually also got an invention with AbMat that he's got
Oh, cool.
out. But he wants to know, I'll throw it up here. He wants to know if you have axles at different diameters or just the standard. So the standard being like 1.9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, heck, I could answer that, but I'll let you answer it because I lurk through your site all the time.
Well, I don't have other sizes listed, but I think the largest I've made is a 4-inch one. Uh,
Yeah.
so something like that is I usually custom build them. And the
Okay.
reason being is there's such a niche market. It's like the person that wants a 4-inch axle, and they're
That's dang
one.
near a log.
Yeah, and I've done 4, I've done 3.5, I've done 3. I can make them at about any size that you want. Some weird, like if you wanted like a 3.25 inch or something like that, that would be hard. But any inch to half-inch increments, I can probably make it without any trouble. It'd just be a
Okay.
weight, and
Okay.
it's going to be heavy. So
Oh yeah,
that's
shipping.
not a problem. Yeah,
Okay.
shipping is going to be a monster.
Hey, but that is a good reason to take a trip to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Eric says, "Holy smokes, 4 inches." Said 2 3/8 or 2 7/8. He's seen in Europe. And he said they look awesome. Um, I'm picturing when you said 4 inch, I pictured like Carl Meyerskoff, the great arm lifting competitor, because that dude is huge. I was like, well, maybe he wanted one, but that's crazy. Um, Anyway, man, so like I said, if somebody wants to reach out to you, if they want to order something from you, if they want to get your version of the tip bar, which is the only adjustable tip bar in the world. And in fact, you know what? We're going to go ahead. We're going to go take a look at that because I'm so proud. This was my modeling debut. Okay. I want you to see, guys, this is David gave me my big break in terms of making me I can officially say I'm a product model. Look at this guy right there. All right. And that's my actual tip bar that I have here in the house. I love that thing, and I'm a big fan of it. So if somebody wants to order something from you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Just David at gorillastrength.us. The website, gorillastrength.us. If you see a product there, you can order it straight off the website. You can also text 270-287-3853. That's my direct text phone. That's, that goes directly to me. You can call too, but I don't get calls as much. I don't answer as much because a lot of times I'm working in the shop and I just can't stop what I'm doing or hear the phone to answer calls directly. I try to, but I don't get to all the time. But David at gorillastrength.us always gets to me. And, of course, there's always the Facebook, Instagram. You can send me a direct message through those. But text or email is usually the best and quickest way to get in touch with me.
All right. So there you go. David recklessly throwing his phone number, his actual phone number out there on the internet. We'll see what happens here. I like to, whenever somebody does like with Ashton over at Freedom Fitness, who you are doing some stuff with, by the way, whenever when he did that, I said, okay, I want to see like what's the volume of. That's how I know if my show's working. If your volume of calls increases, I know I'm getting I know people are seeing my show. All right, man. I appreciate you being on here, man, and I appreciate. I will say this too in front of God and everybody. I appreciate your friendship. And the
I
support you've
appreciate
given
you.
me for years, man. This is one of the most supportive guys I've ever met. I've ever had any contact with. I still remember meeting you at the Mammoth Strength Challenge, and also I love how cool you were to my son, and you just I love your family, and we got to get our daughters. They got a play date they arranged without asking us, so now I gotta drive up there so we can make it actually happen, man. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have you back on, and thanks for being here and spending time with us, man.
Appreciate you too, man, brother. You think a lot of you and your family as well, so appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Later. All right, that was my guy, David Dennis. I don't mind telling everybody that's my friend, and I also have a tremendous respect for his skill and ability. If you need something made in terms of home gym equipment, David can make it. All right, so all you got to do is reach out to him, and he'll make it for you. He can make stuff that will fit with something that you already have. If you got something, an attachment for your power rack you need made, anything you can think of, David can make. And I vouch for the quality of his work. I don't get paid anything for sending you to him. Okay. I am taking money, David, but I don't get paid any money for sending you to him. But I do stand by the quality of his work because I think highly of what he does. All right. So let's go ahead and let's close this thing out here. Let's talk about this time for this segment. What am I watching on YouTube? So the most interesting video I've seen on YouTube, the first one is from Movement Midas, and it is about the best home gym equipment he's found so far. So he hasn't had a home gym. Movement Midas, in case you're not familiar with him, has a YouTube channel, and let's see. I'll go ahead and pull him up here. He's doing pretty well too. I'm trying to remember how many subscribers Midas has. See here. It's like 200 something. Oh no, I'm sorry, 1 million. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll share the screen so you guys can check it out. So this is Midas's channel. It's the Movement Midas. He's got 1.3 million subscribers. This is a home gym channel. All of the videos are shot in his home gym. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a home gym channel. And he's got a video that I just saw. It came across my radar. and it was him saying, so he's got a new garage home gym setup. He dropped that video 3 weeks ago. And then he's got another video that I saw, and it was basically the best pieces of home gym equipment that he had found up to that point. And he actually had an issue where, so this is the video right there. And he's just breaking down the best pieces of home gym equipment that he's found. He's based in Canada. And I think he is a prime candidate for Bells of Steel because he ran into an issue that he mentioned when he was putting together his home gym. He ran into an issue with Rogue in Canada. And I was like, dude, you need to just drop them completely and go straight to Bells of Steel because Rogue wasn't fulfilling it. But, anyway, I don't have any contact with him. I would love to get him as a guest on the channel. So it matters if you happen to see this, you got an open invite. I want you to come be a guest on the channel. And so that video about the best pieces of home gym equipment he's found so far is what I'm planning on watching. Actually, I'm going to watch it when I get on the treadmill after this show is over. The second video that I'm interested in is from PRX Performance, and it's because they have got a leg curl leg extension that they've made. So I am interested in checking this out. So I've got my playlist all set together. Let's see what it looks like right there. So you guys see that thing? It is rack mounted, and it's by far the first one that I've seen out there. I think Stray Dog actually had the first one that I've ever seen, but now you're starting to see more and more companies come out with their own versions of this sort of thing where it's a rack mounted leg extension, leg curl. And I'm interested in checking this out because I'm interested in getting one, not necessarily from PRS Performance, but we've got a Northern Lights leg extension, leg curl downstairs in our home gym. And it would really free up some space if we were able to get rid of that, but we still want to do leg extensions and leg curls. So, it would be good if we could so we're looking for a rack attached solution. And that's why the PRX video got my attention, and I'm going to be checking it out. And then another one is from Kaizen DIY. This is another video that's on my playlist. And, it said technically it's from Do You Even Lift Bro, and it's from Garage Gym, so you can find that by going to Garage Gym Radio, and that is the Do You Even Lift Bro. That's where the home of it is. Okay, so if you check out that channel, go to Garage Gym Radio. While you're there, subscribe, help them out so they can grow. But then also, you've got Kyle, and he is describing what happened when he went to Fargo. What's in Fargo? Well, remember the company I was just talking about? They had the rack attached leg extension, leg curl. Well, as you can see in the video right here, you got my two guys who have both been here on the show, my guy Mike Munoz and Kyle from Kaizen DIY, and the two of them are right there. And Kyle is talking about his trip to Fargo. So quite honestly, I'm just being nosy. I want to know how the trip went. And then the final video comes from my guy, Jonathan, at the No Fate 24/7 channel. And it is, let me see if I can pull this up right here. It's not brand new. Let's see how long this thing has been out. It's about 5 days old. And so you guys just go to No Fate 247 right here on YouTube, and you see this video right here. It says stop overpaying. It's a review of what he considers to be the best budget safety squat bar. So it's the GetRx SSB. It's a full review of it. So I enjoy the way Jonathan presents information, and so I plan to check that video out. So I got a playlist that'll take me through about a 45-minute walk on the treadmill, and that's good because I'm accumulating the time on the treadmill, getting that waistline a little bit smaller, and a lot of it is just trying to bang out 20,000 steps a day. I actually hit 20,000 steps the other day, and just I don't want y'all thinking I'm making stuff up. So you can see right here. All right, so I'm at 392 steps today, and right there you guys can see. Maybe. See right there. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm too close. Yeah, okay, there we go, right there. See that? So that's that highest peak right there. That's when I hit 20,000 steps that day. And I've actually got a couple other milestones that I'm pretty proud of. So I'm going to tell you about them right now. So I've walked 129.8 miles so far in July. And my longest streak of walking without a break was 18 days. I'm trying to get to the 30-day mark. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get to the 30-day mark. And I hit another one. This is the one I'm really proud of. See if I can't get right here. Scroll down. Yeah, all right. So I couldn't even believe it. July 21st, the same day that I hit the 20,000 steps, I hit officially 1 million steps since I've started using this, tracking my steps with this app. So I need you guys, I'm bringing it up also because I need you guys to hold me accountable to continue hitting my step goals, to continue, getting myself in better shape. Because I think that you have to have, if you're going to do what I do here on, in terms of home gym content, I feel like you have a responsibility to kind of look the part. And so I don't feel like I don't need to look shredded or whatever, but I do need to look like I actually work out. So I just that's nobody else has told me that, but I just feel that pressure. So, I function well when I have goals. And so I've set the goal for myself to go ahead and bang it out. I appreciate it. Carlos says looking great. I appreciate it, man. We're getting there. And if you guys are actually interested in it, I'll start doing like check-ins and stuff like where I show you like how my body fat is coming off, my waistline, all that kind of stuff. It's like step one is to just consistently hit my step goal. So I'm trying to get to 30 days of walking without missing a day, of hitting 10,000 steps without missing a day. And a side effect of that will be my waistline gets smaller. So the first goal is to get my waist smaller. All right. So just so you guys know, and if you guys are interested for whatever reason, then that will be something that, I can start sharing check-ins. Maybe that'll be something I put in the members only section for you guys to be able to keep up with what I got going on. And it's one more thing here. So now let you guys know what's coming up next week. Next week, I've got a really cool guest, Tiffany Longcore. She is a kettlebell sport champion, and she's actually got a world record. She's also working towards another world record, which is going to be an all-time world record. So we'll talk to her a little bit about that. But more than that, she has created a workout plan for gamers. That's right. There's a stereotype that gamers don't work out, that gamers are out of shape. Well, Tiffany has created something called the Gamer's Guide to Fitness. And so we're going to bring her on. She's going to talk all about the Gamer's Guide to Fitness. And then I've also got my guy, Cody Lutz from Backyard Shreds. He has a company that's based around showing you how to build your own backyard shed gym. So I know, Matt Welch, you've already built one, but I think that will be interesting for you to come check out. So that's going to be next week. And I have room for one more guest. So if somebody wants to jump in, just hit me up. But I'm working on another guest as it stands right now. So we'll just see if we're able to get them in there. I got one final comment. And then say you just got hopefully, pause. Carlos said you just got my attraction. No Diddy. I hope you meant attention. I hope you meant attention. I don't have your attraction. I'm a handsome man, but pause. All right. He says the workout guide for gamers. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think you'll enjoy checking it out. So you're always here anyway, Carlos, but be here next week and we will be talking to Tiffany. In fact, let me, it's already up here. So you guys can see the live stream is already scheduled. I'm really excited because she interviewed me, and so the interview with me and Tiffany is going to drop that week, I think Monday or Tuesday, and then she's going to come on the show live that Friday this next week. So that'll be really cool. And let's see here. I appreciate you guys for being here once again. If you haven't already, please click like. Hit subscribe for me. Help me hit my goal of 50,000 subscribers. I couldn't do this without you guys. You guys really motivate me. Even on days when I don't feel like doing it, you guys motivate me to get it done. So Shout out to all of you. Hope you have a great weekend. Keep on chasing those goals. Keep on stacking days.